Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me a lot, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a miner. Made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash Nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly. Worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather. Be weather, be tripping. Starting to look control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling they soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God prepare. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight Marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do, come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
I have seen everything that has ever happened, ever will happen, ever could happen, and yet, what the hell is this?
Are you ready?
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, Dreamweaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear, got the homie. Carter presents. Welcome to episode 242 of the Blerd Cave, the #1 comic book news stream on this or any other Earth in the multiverse, which you can also find on Spotify. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Google. You can find it on Timbuktu. You can find it anywhere good podcasts may be found. And just putting this out here, if you do, make sure you leave us a rating. It helps us find more listeners like you. Carter. Man, what is going on, my brother? How are you? How have you been doing? Because I don't think I've got to talk to you very much this week.
So Friday, I didn't want to sit in the house. I didn't want to go to the beach, even though I need to go. I should have went so I could go running like I normally do. I said, you know what, fuck it. My tank is somewhat full. I need something new to read. So I go to the comic shop. Didn't even realize it was Friday. I'm just going to the comic shop. So I call Ernie up. Because that's what I normally tend to do. Anytime I go to this comic shop that I've talked about several times, Pulp Fiction in Southern California, I say, if I see something in there for him, I'm gonna ask him beforehand. Hey, do you want me to keep an eye out for something? I'm gonna go over there now. He says sure. He's about to go see Madam Web. I thought he had seen it the day prior, but he was just like, I'm going to see the movie, but just text me. My phone's gonna be on. Let me see if you see something. So I walk in there, right? I see that they have re-upped the bargain bin. Because that's like the first spot you go to in this shop is you go to the bargain bin because you're going to see some shit in there that ain't got no business being in there. I've talked about that shit to you all several times. The first box I look into, I see the complete Gail Simone Red Sonja omnibus. I said, yeah, he gonna want this. So I grab it immediately. I grab it immediately. And then I see another book that I'm actually reading on Comixology called The Lady Killer from Joelle Jones. Anyone that watched the Ninja Turtle stuff that we've been talking about the past few weeks, she's one of the artists that's going to be on that book. Mm-hmm. And I'm reading hers, and it's all collected right here, so I don't have to go to Comixology no more. So I'm grabbing now. I'm like, well, damn. Okay, so I got one for him, one for me. And then I start going down the bargain bin table, and I start seeing more and more stuff that ain't got no business being in here. So I got the Lady Killer in my hand. I got the Red Sonja in my hand. I text Ernie that Red Sonja, Gail Simone. I know you got a hard on Gail Simone and Red Sonja. I got it in my hand. It ain't left my hand. I got the Lady Killer for me. Next box I go to, what do I see? Batman by Grant Morrison, Volume 1 Omnibus. Okay, bro. How much is this shit? $35. Oh, my. I almost cussed out loud. So I'm just like, come on. Then I see the Thor by Jason Aaron Omnibus is in there. $45. And I'm just like, I put Lady Killer down. And then this is when I say, you know what? Let me get my ass from over here. I'm going to put Lady Killer down. If it's over here, when I make my loop in the shop, I'm going to buy it. But I'm holding the Red Sonja because I don't want anybody else to come in here and see it because people are starting to go in because I got there right when they opened. So I started making my rounds around the shop. I see that they have Volume 2 of Dark Knights of Steel. So I grab that. I'm gonna get this instead. I'm gonna leave Lady Killer over there. I'm gonna grab this. Then I turn around behind me. I see Shadows of Dakota. I said, well, goddamn it. Okay, I'm getting both of y'all. Fuck it. I'm getting y'all. He getting his Red Sonja. I'm walking down, and now we into Image and things like that. And I see his bald brother. He got a stack full of trades. I walk by him, but you gonna be nosy to see what this person has. Mm-hmm. So true enough, I'm looking at the stack. I see Mark Millar's Huck. You know I like that story. You know I like Huck. And I see it right there. At no point have they had it. So he and I started having a conversation. He was like, "Yeah, man, like I think I should have did what you did because I see the red Sonja in your hand, man." And just I always instinctively come back here. Back here meant I'm going where all the brand new stuff is. But they have a lot of like, there's some treasure in their bargain stuff. I never think to just walk right over there. And I'm like, yeah, that spot is a gold mine. So we're talking, and we're walking back towards the bargain bin.
Yeah.
Right. So I see Black Panther by Christopher Priest, $35. I see I see a bunch of Strange Academy. I see some Doctor Strange omnibuses. I see Timely Classics, and it was something else. And I see Batman Black and White, and for $40, I'm just like, bro. So I'm still. So he and I start looking in the bargain bin, and then I see. Now keep in mind, I got Red Sonja in my hand, Dark Knights of Steel Volume 2, and Static Shadows of Dakota. I said this will be it. I'll just wait for him to text me back. I get back over there to the table. I see Jeff Johns Aquaman Omnibus still in the plastic. Ernie's probably gonna fuck him. It's because he wanted. I already sent him the Flash. He gonna want, but it's still in the plastic, still bargain bin. Okay, so I'm gonna grab that. For him.
That was the golden age. That was golden age of Jeff Johns.
Okay. So I got that in my hand now. So now arm is hurting. So when I pick up the Jeff Johns Aquaman for, I think it was, what the hell did I tell you? Hold on, I gotta look at my phone so I don't lie. How much was it? It was $35. The complete Gail Simone Red Sonja was $25. So I text Ernie what I had in my arm for him and the prices, just to be like, okay, which one you want? And when I'm putting the Aquaman in my arm, I see Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, Volume 1. I said, how much is this? I said, hold on. How much is this? And then it's the variant cover of it that I like. So I said, how much is it? $60. Okay, dog. What's all in here? Because I've only read his new Avengers. I've been talking about reading the Avengers. I want to see if you read it together, if it's a good story, as opposed to back when I was getting them in floppies, waiting month to month and getting mad when I'm spending $4.99 and $5.99. I see it's the first 23 issues of Avengers, the first 12 issues of his new Avengers with the Illuminati. It's got all 6 issues of the Infinity Event. It's got another miniseries in there. I said, okay, dog. So now Hickman's Avengers Volume 1 is in my hand. I didn't put Static and Dark Knight to Steel down. I said we can't be greedy. So now we got Jonathan Hickman's Avengers Volume 1 Omnibus. We got Red Sonja Omnibus. We got Jeff Johns Aquaman Omnibus. Now my arm is really hurting. And then I'm talking to the guy again because he's seeing some stuff that he wants. And he's like, yeah, man, this is really a treasure trove. And I said, yep, you are absolutely right. Ernie finally fucking
mailman, you ain't shit.
What do you say? His palms are sweaty. Oh, shut up.
Knees weak, arms heavy.
So I'm talking to the dude, right? I'm talking to the guy, and then I have the Hickman Avengers in my arm. But then I'm going back and I'm looking at that Batman by Grant Morrison because it was $60 and it's still in the plastic. It's supposed to be in the bargain bin. So at this point, I'm getting annoyed. And I will be completely honest with you, Ernie. I was getting annoyed because I'm like, come on, dog. Tell me which one of these motherfuckers you want so I can get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to look at nothing else. Now, in your defense,
I was
at the movies. I completely understand it. I completely get it, my brother. But at the same time, I'm looking at my phone like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. It got to the point where I started saying that shit out loud. And it was like, anything, is that one of your friends? You waiting for them to come meet you up here? I said, no, I'm waiting on this motherfucker to text me back. Like, which one of these do you want?
Wait, not what the omnibus curls. Man,
oh, God.
Mr. January 60 said you was doing omnibus curls.
Okay, so at this point, okay, I finally get a text from Ernie. This was hold on. All right, this was like almost 30 minutes later. I finally get the text from Ernie. Now, keep in mind, I got Jeff Johns Aquaman, Red Sonja Omnibus, Hickman Avengers Volume 1. But I still have the Static Shadows of Dakota and the Dark Knights of Steel right in front of me. They're just not in my arms. I get a text back. I'm like, okay, which one you want? I get a text back from this fool, and it just said, shit, both of them. But by that point, I was already about to walk out the store. So I said, you know what? Okay, he taking too long to text me back. Can I put these two on hold? I know a friend of mine is gonna want them. She said, yeah, we keep them up to a week. I said, I will more than likely be back in here tomorrow. I will come get them then.
Bro.
And in the conversation of me laughing at that text and talking to the guy, I finally put all of the books down because my right arm was just in pain. and I turned around. When I turned around, okay. Let me preface this by saying you all know, everybody watching, everybody listening, I do not like giant ass omnibuses. I hate them, right? Case in point, the Immortal Hulk. Which one are you about to grab? Okay, boom. Case in point, Immortal Hulk. I hate that big ass omnibus. That's why I bought Immortal Hulk in the separate. I bought Immortal Hulk in separate hardcovers. I only like the omnibuses. Here's Black Panther. Here's Grayson. I can still just be in here just reading them, not these big ass thesauruses and old King's David Bibles. I don't want those big ass.
Got
things.
that Old Testament,
right? But I got the Hickman Avengers. I got the Hickman Avengers for me, so I'm good. He got his books on hold. Let me just get my Avengers and walk out of here. But again, y'all, I turned around.
Mm-hmm. This man.
And when I turned around, I saw a book. I said, I don't want it. But it was the same price as the Avengers. And it was the complete thing. It was not a volume 1. So when I turned around, I look on the shelf. And I see Tomasi and Gleason's Batman and Robin omnibus for the exact same price as the Hickman Avengers Volume 1. Mm-hmm. I grabbed that big bastard immediately. Look how big this is.
Oh, yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Like I'm finna open this. I feel like I'm finna do some damn homework with this. But when I saw this, wait, the whole thing, this just got re-released? And I still got the sticker on it that says $59.99. I put Hickman down immediately.
Oh, well,
so your stuff is on hold. I am literally going to pick it up after we leave the cave because when I got in my car, that's when I get the shit, both of them. And then I get a cash out notification. He done already sent the bread to get it. So
I think I said, because I sent you like $60 or something like that. I was like,
but for whatever reason, Verizon just gets a awful signal in that shop. So I didn't get any of these notifications until I was walking out, and I wasn't walking back in there because I didn't want to see shit else. So your boy got the Tomasi and Gleason Batman and Robin omnibus right now for the 60, and I gotta go get Ernie's Red Sonja and Jeff Johns Aquaman today.
Well, you know what else we gotta get? We gotta get these super chats. We gotta get, first off, shout out to Gearless Mo out here, telling everybody get the goddamn likes up. Yeah, no, I saw some folks saying the likes ain't mathing out because I'm looking at it right now. We got 210 folks in here, 84 likes. I don't like that math. That ain't.
I'm gonna tell you what. So I tell you the worst part about it because I don't like that math either. But here's what pisses me off about this Batman and Robin. I was going before you text me. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna get this Hickman Avengers. I think I'm just gonna buy Helldivers play Hell Divers with Ernie. I think I'll be all right. And I was about to put it down, but then I said, you know what? No, because I clown Hickman and people are getting on us about gods. Let me actually sit down and read this Avengers. I will. So I'm like, do I want Avengers or do I want Hell Divers? Do I want to shoot aliens or do I just want to read Hickman to see what all the fuss is about Hickman? And then I turn around and see that Batman and Robin.
Well,
and it was over.
Well, you might want to turn around and see that message from Elite X1. Anyway, thank you, Gearless Mo, for hooking us up. Also, by the way, I got your message this morning. I didn't get a chance to reply because I had to go run out the house. We got sick people in the house. I had to go run out and get provisions for them before we started the show. So, yeah. But I got you. Thank you. And dude, yeah, you are the best, period. And of course, you also earned yourself one of these. Let's see. We got Mad Chocolate Gaming.
Oh my God.
Says this is dangerous for me as I'm heading to the local shop now for some bargain bin diving. Also, shout out to Mad Chocolate Gaming because this is their first super chat ever. We appreciate that, pimp.
Listen, January 16th, he hit the nail on the head. He said my arms were shaking. You have no idea. Yeah. That Bread Sonya and that Aquaman, that was some pain. I need my pain paid, dog. Like,
hey, I'm right there with you. Says, wait, let's see. And you know what? Over on the Twitch side, can't forget about the Twitch side. About the Twitch side. We got the Demon Inside. 666 says, I got all the Grant Morrison Batmans on Amazon for less than $120. So also got the Grant Morrison. They said they got the Grant Morrison Superman and Grant Morrison JLA as well. Nice. And dude, Doom Patrol 2. Jesus Christ, Lord, what are you doing? Also got the Rachel Pollux. Lord, you were doing too much. Amazon making big money off of you. Let's see here. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I like Helldivers too, but I'm gonna be brutally honest. I am more interested in playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So there you go.
Yeah, because you're an RPG guy, but I heard that the PC, and this goes back to the conversation. I see you just sent me some in regards to Helldivers Elite, but I heard that the PC version, the PC port isn't the best, but like PS5 is firing on all cylinders.
They're having some matchmaking issues I know of right now. I mean, game, like I played it, the game plays fine. It's just that the core component of the game, which is multiplayer, is just fucked up right now. Which I think is a bit much.
Yeah. Carter was about to charge Ernie for workman's comp.
Stop.
No.
All right, let's see here. Let's get into our first thing because we got plenty to do, and ain't none of it about Batman and Robin. So first things first. We gotta get on task. Let's see here. We are gonna jump into. We're actually not gonna do Madam Web right away. I'm gonna save it because I have things to say. First and foremost, we're gonna start with something that I think is funny.
Okay.
Because Madam Web is not funny.
Ooh, which movie was better, Madam Web or Batman and Robin? Okay.
No, because you know what? I'll answer that question later. Let's get to our stuff. Okay. First things first. Carter, you sent me a message last night when I sent you the list of things we were going to be talking about.
Yeah.
And I think the question you asked me is, where the hell did I get this?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't even so much that. It was the fact that it was one of the main things that was just going on. It's kind of spreading throughout the internets. the day that the trailer for X-Men 97 came out. For those that, for whatever reason, if you missed it, I don't know how, because it was literally everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. Even people I know who don't know shit about X-Men were talking about it. Even people who were like tangentially aware that the X-Men are a thing were like, man, did you see that X-Men trailer? Like, people were talking more about the X-Men trailer. Like, I felt so bad for Invincible because Invincible had the unmitigated gall to put that. Amazon had the unmitigated gall, the temerity to put that damn trailer out the same day, hours after. Like, now we're gonna wait. Like, they put the X-Men trailer out early that morning. We're gonna put our shit out in the afternoon. By then, ain't nobody gonna be talking about X-Men no more. The lies you tell yourself. Because wasn't nobody talking about that Invincible trailer. Everybody's like, I mean, yeah, that Invincible cool, but man, did you see Wolverine and Gambit? What nobody talking? Look, this is what everybody was talking about.
Yeah.
Nobody talking about. No, man, did you see they got the sequids in the Invincible? Yeah, man, dude, you see how messed up Invincible? No. Did you see Gambit?
Gambit.
Touch
How
them,
up the
put the
claws?
Look, did you see him lay hands on them claws? He blessed Wolverine's claws. That's what he did. But no, that and how Magneto out here looked like a whole granny goodness. I think it was that, the granny goodness, and everybody talking about how everybody's favorite sugar.
Oh no, fuck that. You are low down for that. You are so green for that.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
Go back to that picture real quick.
Oh, about the granny goodness? Yeah, there you go. There's that granny goodness right there.
Dark side is. That's so foul, bro. That is foul. That is foul.
Oh, but no, did you see what was it? Oh man, Rob put the tweet out, and I didn't notice because I didn't pay this any attention before. But there's a shot, and it's this one right here. I'm gonna have to enhance this so you can see what I'm talking about. Enhance. They the Nerf Rogue. They the Nerf Rogue.
Why does it look like Wolverine is? Why Logan looking like what happened?
He's like, I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Who did this shot? Who is
Somebody slapped Rogue in her ass with the Immortal Hulk omnibus is what happened.
Is gone. He is looking like
he's like, man, what they do? Look, but here's it. Like she is. I guess you know. Because no, I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you saw it or not. But yeah, Rob, he put out a tweet, and it was basically the here, you know what? Let me bring this over. I want you to see this shit. So basically, let's do it like this. Bam, right there. It was the comparison. It was like, bro,
you got to. This has to be the Spotify thumbnail in some way. In some way, this has to be the Spotify thumbnail.
God damn it!
Oh.
But like, I mean, look here. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit, just so y'all can kind of see. But like, that was Rogue in the old jut,
bruh.
That was Rogue in the old jut, and this is Rogue in the new jut. Like, the ass just gone. Rogue suffered from no ass at all. I ain't gonna lie. This shit about, like, when I saw this shit, it almost took me out. Is it this Snack Crumbs on Twitch? He said the difference is too much.
I feel like she got that same gluteal issue that Hank Hill had, where he couldn't sit down. Where she couldn't, we couldn't sit down and nothing. Maybe that's why she flies so much, because that is just
the wind shear that took the ass off. What LP3 said, Gambit has explored his options. Okay. This has all been fun and wait, Mojo Quinn, you ain't shit. he said maybe they'll do a story arc where Captain Marvel took some power in the ass back. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. I just want to put that out there. So that's not the reason why. This is not the reason why I have the lower third there saying X fans think X-Men 97 is woke. No, that's not the reason. Not the reason at all, actually. As a matter of fact, has nothing to do with Rogue, her lack of ass. It doesn't have anything to do with Wolverine letting Gambit ride his back. Ain't got nothing to do with none of that. None of that. It has to do with something else. There, a lot of people were really upset for some reason when all this came to light. And it's because there have been some changes. There's been changes going on with the X-Men. Now, for those, some of you may or may not know this. We actually talked about this on Nerds of Culture this past Thursday, but there are some returning players to the show. Mm-hmm. Some of you may or may not be aware. Some of those players is, if you have not been keeping up, from the original voice cast, the original voice cast of the show, there have been some mix-ups, some change-ups, and personally, I'm okay with it for the most part. Like I'm not beat up. I'm not beat up by any of this information. But we know that, of course, because Cyclops' original voice actor had passed away just a couple of years ago, I believe. Mm-hmm. So obviously they had to find a replacement. Yeah, duh. They're not going to use AI to recreate that voice. So they got a guy by the name of Ray Chase who's going to be doing the voice of Cyclops, which, just based on the trailer alone, because he's really the only character we hear talking a lot other than Magneto at the end. And we hear Wolverine for like the briefest of moments. Which I know some people have some thoughts about that as well. We'll talk about that too. But Cyclops sounds... like, honestly, had I not known, like, if I was completely ignorant to the fact that Cyclops' original voice actor had passed away, I wouldn't even have noticed there was a difference. Like, this Ray Chase, he nailed it for the most part. Like, he sounded like Cyclops from the original show. The rest of the cast, like Jennifer Hale, she is gonna, like, and for those who don't know who Jennifer Hale is, you probably heard Jennifer Hale's voice if you have been playing video games for the past, like, 10, 15, 20 years. She's been doing voice acting for a long time. I think her most famous role is Femship in the Mass Effect. In the Mass Effect game. So if you ever play Mass Effect, if you ever play as Femship, then you've heard her voice. And she's in lots of other stuff. She does video games and anime. So you've heard her voice. Also, if you ever watched Wolverine and the X-Men, yeah, she was Jean on Wolverine and the X-Men. Okay. So she's taking over the voice of Jean Grey because Catherine Disher is now playing Dr. Valerie Cooper. So that was kind of one of the things I think some people got upset about, because they did bring back a lot of the old voice cast, but a lot of them are not playing the same characters because their voices have noticeably aged and they can't, convincingly portray certain characters that they used to portray. Case in point, Chris Potter, who I think was Gambit originally, he's now Cable. Lawrence Bain, who was Cable, is now Executioner, and Ron Rubin, who originally played Morph, is now playing President Kelly.
Okay.
And the original Jubilee voice actress, Allison Court, she's playing somebody else as well. And it all makes sense because when you really sit down and think about it, especially in 2024, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know everything that there is to know about Allison Court, but as far as I'm aware, she a white woman. She a whole white woman. So a whole white woman playing an Asian character in 2024, probably a little weird. At least in terms of like a show where you probably want a little bit more authenticity. In anime, sure, whatever. The identity is just a thing that doesn't really exist over there. But over here, a little bit different. Now, for me, personally, I don't have a problem with this. Honestly, I wish they'd have did more of it because that Wolverine kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. That Wolverine hurt my feelings just a little bit. It wasn't bad, but just it threw me off because I had to remind myself that the man playing him is now 70. I think he's like 60, 70 years old now, probably by this point. He ain't no spring chicken no more. But all that aside, yeah, like you could just tell that, yeah, these people, their voices have changed. And there's people that are upset about that. They're upset that, they're taking this person off this person, but they're leaving this person. I think because the woman that plays Rogue, or they used to play Rogue, she's still playing Rogue. But that's because she can still reliably get that character across. Most likely, is the
this
case.
is gonna be very, 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 very morbid, and I do apologize in advance.
I mean, hey, do what you got to do, pimp.
But when I saw the trailer, I will say the voices felt a little off to me, and that's just because in my mind, I'm still thinking about the cartoon. So hearing something different is gonna catch me off guard. So
yeah,
because Cyclops' voice to me just that didn't sound like him, and Wolverine didn't sound like him. But here's my thing. This is why I say it's kind of. I thought these people had passed. So
I mean, that's fair.
I already assumed that we would be having new people in these roles anyway that we would have to get used to. So it was to be expected for me because I thought they had already been gone.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. The guy that plays Wolverine, Cal Dodd, he's a year older. Or no, he's a year younger than Kevin Conroy. So this guy's 67 years old. So his voice is not going to sound like it did 30 some odd years ago. So that's why I think, because once I actually looked at it in that perspective, I was like, you know what? When you put it that way, I was like, you know what? Let me check myself. Because if I am not mistaken, and I want to make sure that I am correct when I in saying this, but yeah, some of the people are older, like the woman Allison Seeley Smith, who was the voice of Storm, one of the voices of Storm. She is 65 years old. She's still playing Storm. But that's because, I mean, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. Even back then, Storm sounded old. Like she sounded like an old ass soul back in the day. Even though she was supposed to be a young woman, she sounded like she was good and grown and had some babies. The way she used she used to talk like an old like when you had the. It
was when she was using her powers. That's not a young lady. That is a grown woman.
Go back and watch
I hear.
Yeah.
When I read X-Men Red, like that's what I hear her. I hear that old woman's voice. So I completely feel you on that one.
Mistress of the elements, command you to release that child. I was like, God damn, she sounded like she already getting AARP. So yeah, it's just one of those things. So nothing's really going to change there for that. And if I'm not mistaken, George Buza, who played Beast, I doubt much has changed in his voice because Beast sounded good fucking grown too. I don't know about the rest. I know that I think it's Adrian Hugh is going to be playing Nightcrawler, which to my knowledge, I believe that's all new casting on that part, because I'm not familiar with that name or that actor. And I want to say the same. Was it Chris Britton is going to be playing Mr. Sinister? So we have that, and once again, I do not know if this has anything to do, one to do with the other, but to my knowledge was not the original voice actor either. Like it just is. Some of these people, you got to remember, 30 years ago, that was a long time. Actually, no, take that back. He was the original Mr. Sinister. So there you go. So Chris Britton, he's the original. So we're good there. But like, yeah, you kind of have to let that shit go sometimes. Sometimes people age out of roles. It just is a thing. Like, like when you hear, I feel like it'd be a different thing if everyone heard those voices and was just like, oh, yeah, I see why it happened. I feel like you listen to them, you'd be like, oh yeah, this makes sense. But there's that. But the thing that I feel like broke a lot of people's brains, because this is the one where I feel like, people kind of lost their mind. It's when it was revealed that Morph is a non-binary character now. That was the part that fucked up a lot of people's heads. And I honestly do not understand why. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. People probably didn't expect that. Maybe like people just weren't prepared for that. But like, here's the thing. When you think about who Morph is as a character, you look at the character Morph. It wasn't like he was the most like hyper masculine character on the original show. Like, he wasn't even on the show a whole lot, but he wasn't like a guy who you just looked at and said, yes, this guy is at the time in the 90s, the stereotypical masculine manly man. Like, he was just a dude. He was a guy, and the dude could literally be whatever he wanted. He could be a dude. He could be a woman. He could literally turn into anything. Why are we freaking out that this dude is non-binary in this? It like is not that big of a deal. Like, it's nothing to freak out about. It's like, does it matter? Does it? Does it even fucking matter at this point? Like, it's not like they said, hey man, he's we're gonna take the character Morph and we're gonna just like, I don't know, do what with him? Like, I don't see a bad thing here. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not seeing, maybe I'm missing the forest for the trees on this one. Maybe I am. I will totally cop to that.
Hey, Carter, how do you feel about them making Morph non-binary? I don't care.
I'm just saying.
When is the cartoon coming out again so I can watch it?
Next
Morph is non-binary.
Yeah.
Again. I don't care.
Yeah. No, but like, this is not a thing to me. Like, I mean, it is. I just want to watch the show. I don't give a shit if, and March 20th, FYI.
No,
Excuse
shit.
me. Yeah, next month.
I
Very
care
soon.
more about that than him being. I don't. Who cares? Let us. Then
Yeah.
fucking let him.
Yeah, no, it's the same. Yeah, no,
I
same.
don't give a fuck. Like, I just want to watch the cartoon, bro.
So
This is what's making y'all mad.
yeah.
You fucking goofs. Like this. Is,
I mean, look, look. There is so much more interesting shit going on in this trailer than Morph being non-binary. Not to
I
say
can't
that
even
that's
watch
like
the trailer because of you now. Because every time it gets to the end, I'm gonna start laughing with your fucking granny goodness. I can't even watch that trailer no more. Like,
wait. I mean, look, man.
bruh.
Don't hate on Granny Goodness, all right? Don't hate on Granny Goodness, okay?
Stop showing.
Don't hate on Granny Goodness. Look, like the master of goodness.
It's because I see when you said it, the voice actress for Granny Goodness in the Justice League cartoon popped in my head while I'm looking at it. You gotta stop showing
hey, look, you know Darkseid is.
Oh man. But like, dude,
You know?
this is bruh, if they like that's not gonna do anything. That's not I could be wrong, but
Okay.
I don't feel like Morpheus non-binary is gonna be a goddamn storyline that they're gonna touch on. I don't feel like Morpheus non-binary is gonna be the only because
it's not gonna be it's not gonna be a whole. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna dedicate a whole episode for it. But I'm pretty sure at some point they do walk up in a whole ass. I have a feeling they're gonna pull up in what might be effectively a gay bar. But I don't think that this is like a storyline that anyone needs to be like, oh my God, are they going to turn the kids gay? I don't think you have to worry about that. I mean, first off, that's not how it works.
that I didn't know that was okay. So full transparency, I haven't kept up with like what the episodes are going to be about. I didn't know that was supposed to be a gay bar.
Well, no, I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
That was a joke. I was just
I didn't realize.
around.
I'm like, I didn't know that part.
No, I mean, but just full disclosure, having been to one, that's the atmosphere.
Okay.
But no, I am more interested. Like, look, if that was the takeaway, is that it's woke, I paid more attention to them Chris Claremont, Jim Lee basketball fits that everybody had on at the end of the trailer. Like, I was like, bruh, this is straight out of the first couple of volumes of Jim Lee's X-Men. The Jim Lee. I paid more attention to the fact that Jean got the baby bump and the sweats on.
So somebody else said in the chat, is that so you have some people saying that's Jean, and you say there's some people I saw in the chat that were saying that might be Madeline Pryor?
Okay, so the reason why people are saying that is because, well, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. That's Jean. That's 100% Jean. However, Madeline Pryor is in the show.
Okay.
This was revealed because of toy leaks.
Okay. I did see that in the chat as well. Okay.
There are some X-Men Legends figures that also gave it away. These are the ones that gave away that Executioner and Madeline Pryor are going to be in it. And one thing to take note of, going back to this one, she has a baby right here, which is very likely Cable. That is. Another thing that gave it away was the Funko Pop. That was leaked. I want to be full disclosure. This shit was all leaked like months ago, like 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. But yeah, where she also has the baby. She got the baby right there too. So yeah, none of this is news. But I thought that shit was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of cool. And the fact that Mr. Sinister's involved, I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. Of course Madeline Pryor's going to be there. But I feel like Madeline Pryor's going to be there for different reasons of what I think people expect. Like, I knew going into this that Inferno was going to be a thing. Like, they were going to adapt Inferno in some way. It's not going to be like 1-to-1, but it's going to be, I would say they'll probably adapt Inferno with the same looseness that they did the Phoenix Saga, if they do that at all. And I don't think it'll even be like that deep, but we already know that there's a season 2 already in the works. So it might even be shit that they just set up for the next season. But yeah, I feel like people are focusing on the wrong shit. You need to be focusing on the fact, like, here's the thing, Carter. Folks ain't even focusing on this shit right here. The shit that look like they got a whole goddamn desert Krakoa going on in the goddamn trailer. Like, they got their own, like, it looked like they, I was like, did they roll up an Apocalypse's palace or some shit? Just
that's what I was
take
thinking.
that shit over?
Like, that's where my mind went.
Right.
So let me ask you this, because you're bringing up Inferno. Was that leaked, or is that like a plot thread that they never brought back from like the last season of the original series? Because I think that's my memory of the end of X-Men was Xavier getting into a ship and then flying the hell off, and then Spider-Man Unlimited took that show's time slot. That's all I remember.
So here's where the trailer is going to fix that for you. Okay. So yes, you remembered it correctly. However, if you watch that trailer, Xavier is very dead. They retcon that shit, because like that's why, like, when you pop up that shit and it says, yeah, the last will and testament of Charles Francis Xavier, they killed that motherfucker off. They I think what happened was they realized that no one liked that show. Like, no one liked that season of the show. It's the least favorite of it. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who liked that 5th season. Like, at all. It was terrible. But, and I think they know that too. So that's why they're like, yeah, we're going to, look, here's what we're going to do. Yeah, we know. We showed Xavier. Xavier, he went off in the ship with the Ledger. He get in the Shi'ar universal healthcare plan. And we just, look, here's what we're going to do. We just going to bring in Granny Goodness. We're going to bring in Granny Goodness. We cut a deal with DC. And, you know, all look, Granny Goodness going to come in, say Darkseid is a few times. And we're going to make sure that we got the perm and everything right. And that's it. That's the show. That's the show right there. We don't even need Magneto. We just need Granny Goodness up in here. That's all. That is all we need. But yes, Charles is very likely going to come back, and at the very least, he'll be in flashbacks. But yeah, I feel like people who are mad about this miss the point of X-Men in the first place. The X-Men have always been it is largely been a metaphor for marginalized communities, and there you go. And yes, to piggyback something that the infamous Mike Manhattan just said, the even if you read the Gargoyles comics right now, they ignore the 3rd season of Gargoyles. The Goliath Chronicles, they ignore that shit entirely. They take some stuff from it, but like they ignore it entirely. As far as continuity goes.
It makes me so mad because when I found out that the Goliath Chronicles was a thing, I got so mad because I didn't have cable. So I thought that I was missing just pure hotness.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't miss shit. You probably went and looked that shit up, didn't you? You went and tried to find it, didn't you? You went and tried to find it.
So it's only been collected all together on DVD, and the aspect ratio is for box TVs, not widescreens. So I never finished. I ended up giving it to my nephew. I couldn't.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's just bad. Like you don't. That's all you. That's all you need to know is that it's bad. 3rd season bad. That's what you need to know. You don't need to know shit else. 3rd season bad. I want to go back a little bit though, because we do have some super chats, and I feel like I missed some because we just kind of were on a roll there for a minute. But we got one from Nuck Nuck. with the 1999 super chat says, Carter. Ed comes out on Street Fighter 6 February 27th, wins the Ed Street Fighter 6 stream. Tell him.
Probably that day.
Ooh, day
Probably
one?
that. Yeah, probably that day because I actually had some rental credits. My friend ended up putting me on game. I didn't know I had credit. So one thing I like about the Street Fighter 6, Ernie, is before you buy a character, you can actually get credits to rent them for an hour to see if you actually want to buy them. Now
that is weird and yet cool at the same time.
I missed the era of just being able to play a game a few times and just unlock motherfuckers. But yeah, you can. But now you can rent them, and I have 3 of those, so I can rent Ed for 3 hours to see if I actually want to spend. I think it's like $12 to get him. But from the video
12?
that showed how he play, yeah.
12?
But I think they came up with a video to show you how he plays and all of his moves and stuff, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, probably the day of, if I'm not doing something else, because I might be doing a gaming thing. But mind your business.
Yeah, we can't talk. We can't talk.
Yeah.
You can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Look, the ninja camoing ninja's gonna show up and fuck you up. You start saying too much. Look, y'all, if y'all missed the show Thursday, y'all know
they're gonna get you too, because you know about the other one.
Oh shit, yeah, no.
So if I go down, this whole goddamn Blerd Cave shit goes down.
look, y'all, you ain't about to have me out here like the dude. You ain't gonna have me out here looking like that bank manager from the beginning of Ninja Cam. We out here trying to look, catching fucking blades with his teeth. Dude, that dude was out here fighting for his life. That man was like, the ninja HR department came and took him straight up out of here. But no, we also got one here for $10 from the evil mathematician. Says, thank you. This is my favorite show to listen to while my 1-year-old and I fight for nap time. Hey, man. Woo! Look, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I remember those days. I remember those days, man. Look, my heart goes out to you, pimp. My heart goes all the way the fuck out to you. Let's see here. We have also let me go. I gotta scroll down a little bit because we got one here. We got a highlighted message. I believe, or maybe we did. I don't know. I think it got kind of lost in the sauce. I think, it got lost sauce. This one comes from Mojo Quiz. Says, come on now. Read my first comment, too, because I ain't shit and everybody needs to know it. Oh, here we go. He said, I'm so tired of people complaining about everything. Now they're complaining about Morph. I hope X-Men 97 makes everybody gay. I hope they have Xavier. Oh, wait, I can't. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got to hit the danger button on this one because you out of pocket. Danger. That look, I can't even say the whole thing now. Look, I got to look. He says, I hope they have Xavier S&Ds off Magneto with Cyclops filming while Wolverine tugging him just so the crybaby stop watching Marvel stuff and let the rest of us enjoy everything in peace. Look, I don't want to see all that, but if it happens, just let me know. I'll fast forward a little bit because, while I'm not, that just is one of those things I just be like, okay, this is a lot. This is a lot of stuff happening.
When somebody goes too far to prove a point and just looks fucking weird, like
I'd be like, whoo, man. I was like, man, this is something. This is something. But we also got one here. We got one. This is one I actually can show because it came more recent. Don High with the $10 says, country conservative white people read defending a world that hates and fears them and think, that's us. That's America. We're white America. And we're here to save you. Rolling on the floor laughing. No, because here's the thing. When you, and this is why I always say that while I appreciate the narrative that Stan Lee gave when he said that the X-Men where Xavier and Magneto are supposed to be modeled after Dr. King and MLK. Here's where I have a problem with that narrative. And I know some people probably could be mad at me, but there's a reason why Don Heim is saying what he's saying, because originally the X-Men were white. White. Super white. And here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it was the 60s. But I feel like, yeah, people saw that narrative. They saw white people who were oppressed and thought, that's me. And then it wasn't until, like, after that when you get the giant, because let's be real here. Let's be real here. X-Men to me doesn't start until Giant Size X-Men #1. Okay, let's go ahead and cut the bullshit. If you tell me that X-Men starts for you before this, I'm gonna laugh you up out of here, because that shit was mid. I don't even like using the word mid. Actually, no, that shit was just trash. There's a reason why that book almost got canceled. Chris Claremont came in to save the day on that motherfucker. Let me go ahead and tell you right now. Go back. I challenge you. Go back and read the original X-Men. That shit was hot garbage.
Shout out to Frank Gleason in the chat saying Magneto had a silk rep in that truck.
But you ain't shit. But no, like, this right here is when X-Men starts. For me, Giant Size X-Men. Now, when you get to that version of X-Men, yes, Xavier and Magneto are more like a MLK, Malcolm X dynamic, even though technically Chris Claremont pulled from different inspirations. The reason why I have an issue with the MLK Magneto comparison is because while on paper it sounds good, here's the thing I want you guys to think about. Magneto in the 1960s was just a mustache twirling villain. I don't think of MLK that way. I just don't. Magneto was not a very nuanced character back then. I mean, once again, it was the 60s, and we didn't have the types of storytelling that we have today. So Magneto was literally just a bad guy. He wasn't, like, if you look at how he treated his children, which they were his children at the time, the way he treated them, the way that he treated his subordinates. He was a very bad person. Like, Magneto back then had no redeeming qualities whatsoever. So I feel like it's a slap in the face to the legacy of MLK to compare him to Magneto back then. If you want to talk about, like, methods and just methods alone, even that I think is a little disingenuous, because Magneto was just a straight up bad guy. The Brotherhood of Mutants didn't really become the more relatable villains until later. So yeah, but like I said, it is what it is. Just saying, just putting that out there. Like, if you want to use the MLK defense, I say sure, I'll go with that for Charles. But here's the thing about Charles. Charles was a piece of shit. Even back in the 60s. He was perving on Jean. He was kind of a slick pedo bear. So once again, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's cute on paper, but I don't like it. But let's get away from that, because we got other shit to talk about. Because you know what else we got to talk about, Card? We got to talk about the fact that LP3 is out here. LP3 out here with the Blerd Club membership, 13 months in the Blerd Club, actually in the Gold Club. At this point, a lot of outrage is desperate clickbait. I'm convinced Disney or whomever puts out rumors for traction. Oh, here's the thing. I don't think you're wrong on both counts, because here's the thing. Companies do this shit all the time. Like, case in point, y'all remember when Deadpool happened? It was no secret that Ryan Reynolds was the one who leaked that shit so that it would get made. It's no secret that a lot of times Marvel, like, and not just Marvel, but studios, people in general, they leak shit because it gets people talking. It's no secret. And I love that. I love that. Yeah, it is what it is. Carlos Jones says Stan Lee's X-Men were just stolen ideas from Doom Patrol. Hey, look. All right, now, hold on. There is a bit of a controversy in that regard. You are very likely not wrong. Stan Lee was not the most original person on the face of the planet. A lot of his ideas were derivative of something else. And I mean, and that's not uncommon because everything is derivative of something else. But it is awfully suspicious that X-Men and Doom Patrol came out about roughly the same time. It's a little suspicious. And especially knowing these people talk to each other, a little suspicious. Beginning away from that, one thing I do want to talk about is this. Garth Ennis. Man. See, this is why Garth Ennis wins in the good person department where Mark Millar fails. Carter, so you and I have both been very hypercritical of the Boys comic book series. I
wouldn't say critical. It's just if people ask us, we just say, yeah, don't read that bullshit.
Oh, there you go. That is fair. No. Wait. Look, wait.
Okay.
No. What you do is you say,
there you go.
When someone says, when someone says, hey, should I watch which one should I start with first? Should I start with the comic or should I start with the show? And you say, no. That's the answer. That is the answer to that question. Let them figure it out for themselves. So the thing that happened is recently, Garth Ennis has made some mentions that he did not care. He did not care for some things that he started the comic off with. And he recently aired his thoughts out about the women in refrigerators trope. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, and I would forgive you if you did not, the women in refrigerators trope is something that's actually been around for quite some time. This actually goes back to, I believe it was Green Lantern number 54, when Kyle Rayner was the man with the ring. And man, it started something that I feel has the industry as a whole has never really truly recovered from.
You want to really explain like what women in refrigerators is actually referring to? I know you said the Green Lantern issue, but did you want to actually for people that really don't know?
Yes. No. Okay. So in Green, and I want to point out this goes back to 1994. 1994. See, it doesn't even roll off the tongue good. See, look at it. It just doesn't. So Kyle Rayner was going up against a villain by the name of Major Force. Major Force, and here, you know it, because I think you should know who the fuck we're talking about. Here, let's pull him up. Boom. Right here. Here is Major Force, a guy you don't see very often anymore. He pops up every now and again in DC Comics, but for the most part, is kind of persona non grata as of late. And the reason why is because of the first fridge. This is in relation to the trope of putting women in refrigerators. And the reason why it's called putting women in refrigerators is because at the time, Kyle Rayner's girlfriend, who, he had been, pretty steady with, was unceremoniously killed off. Alexandra DeWitt was killed and stuffed inside a refrigerator. And when Kyle Rayner comes home, and if I remember correctly, this takes place kind of towards the end of the issue. Like, Kyle is off doing other stuff and, doing his superhero thing. And towards the end of the issue, he comes home, finds his girlfriend, like I'm showing you right now. And you can kind of see it here where like her leg, You see like one of her legs and and one of her feet kind of halfway hanging out of the refrigerator. So at that point, that was the birth of it. And it's not to say women weren't killed off in comics before, but it was the first time it was done so mean-spiritedly. Like, this was the first time I was
gonna say, done so in mean-spirited ways and means for no other reason to try to get more character to make you care more about Kyle,
right?
To make you care more about him. We're gonna brutally do this, so now you feel for him. So
right,
that's what
and even to a worse degree, galvanize the character to take an action he may or may not have normally taken. And it's cheap. It's cheap, and I know that we literally just sat up here. You're probably saying, well, Blerd. Well, you're criticizing this, and yet you really liked Ninja Kamui. Those are two different things. Because Ninja Kamui is a revenge story. In a revenge story, something bad has to happen. This was not a revenge story. I mean, it became a revenge story, but like they literally just did this to get heat on Major Force and make you feel sympathy for Kyle Rayner. That was the only purpose of it. A revenge story works a little bit differently. And it's the reason why when a revenge story is a revenge story, it lets you know from the outset what it is. This was done for shock value. Like when you get to this panel, you don't know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens. And that's kind of the same thing that happened with The Boys. The Boys, in the opening issue of The Boys, and quite unceremoniously, mind you, Huey's girlfriend is killed. Just out of nowhere. Boom, done. Cut the check. She out of here. 1 minute, they're sitting there, talking and having a great time. They're doing what I guess boyfriend and girlfriend do when they hang out at the park together, go to the carnival, and then the next minute, boom, she's in a wall and dead.
Emotional damage.
Right? And all because of a superhero. And Garth Ennis has recently addressed that. Now, I will definitely say there are some places where Garth Ennis's words fall a little flat to me because of some things he did to certain characters also at the beginning of that series. But I will say he did try later to make up for that in some ways, even if they don't seem entirely well thought out. But basically, yeah, he recently came out, talked about it, and he basically said that he wasn't really crazy about the fact that he thought maybe that probably wasn't the best way to introduce Huey to you as a character by, oh, hey, here's this guy who's going to be the main character of this comic. And, oh, by the way, boom, I killed his girlfriend. Guess what? Do you feel sorry for him? You feel sorry for him, right? Feel sorry for him? Okay, cool. He's basically expressed some regret about that. There's still the issue with Starlight, who basically gets sexually assaulted by multiple people in the first issue, but that's another
okay.
Yeah, that is another story altogether. But yeah.
Okay, you said that part. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And here's my thing with this.
Mm-hmm.
You regret using that trope for the sake of male character development.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that's the that's the only regret you have for the boys? With the amount of shit that is in and I'm not even going to delve into the other stuff he's done.
Yeah, no.
But just keeping it with the boys. That's one of the things you regret about the boys. That is damn near minute compared to the other shit that you did in that book, big time.
I mean, look at Mother's Milk.
That's why when you said this story and you said we're gonna be talking about it, and then I just started reading it, and I'm just like, okay. This is the only time I'll say it the entire stream. I read it and I was just like, really, nigga? Like that's it?
Yeah.
That's what you regret out of everything in really?
Yeah, it's like, look, man. Between the shit with Mother's Milk, between the shit with Starlight, which, I mean, to be fair, Starlight gets a lot of character development later and becomes a much more fleshed out character and becomes more of a focus for the story. But even then, still, like, hell, Maeve. The way they did Maeve in that book, the way that, they just kind of played around with casual racism and pedophilia, I was like, yeah, I'd have some other regrets if I was you. I'd have some other regrets, but yeah, hey, whatever. Yeah, but yeah. Also, yeah, Hero-gasm. Yeah, Hero-gasm. That was a thing. And honestly, it was only done for shock value.
Yeah, that was the first comic I'd ever read where people with super strength could like literally break you off during sex to where you had to snort a line of cocaine that was laced with compound V just to take the strokes. Otherwise, you literally got split in half. Like, bruh.
Come on now. Come on.
I feel you regretting that one thing, but if you say, yeah, man, I really regret that, and then just walk off, I would probably trip you. I would probably kill you or something. Like put sugar in your tank or something. Like really, like, dog. Like, for real? That's what you regret?
Mm-hmm.
Word? Like,
yeah, no, Stop.
Maybe it's just me, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
it seems dumb to me. It seems dumb. It seems very dumb.
You owned up to one thing. I will give you the pat on your head.
Yeah, no, 100%. Here, take this pat on the head. Actually, that pat's gonna be more like a
yeah.
Wait, what? Something 19? I'm so confused by that message. Anyway, here we go. Let's jump to this one question, or rather, yes, question. Super chat also. Blurpool with the 199 says, question: who is stronger, Ultron or Nimrod? I mean, look, I feel like this is a question we've been asked before, and I'm gonna give you the same answer every time. It depends on who's writing them at the time. It depends on who's writing them at the time. That's not even a cop-out answer. It just is what it is. It just, yeah. Whoever is writing the character at the time, that's because honestly, they're kind of the same. I mean, if we're going to keep it a buck, they're kind of the same character. The difference between Nimrod and Ultron is Nimrod has one purpose.
My brother-in-law sat there and he started asking me questions about Wolverine and his adamantium and could he swim or could he not swim, but could he die from getting punched by the Hulk? But I'm just like, it depends. I'm 100% certain he got really annoyed with me because every question he asked, my response was literally, it depends on who the writer is.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Yeah, no. 100%. Here's the thing. Can Wolverine swim? Yes. Is he capable of swimming? Depends on the writer. A lot of times, no. What was it? Benjamin Percy recently during I believe it was in X-Force, where there was a thing where Wolverine was out surfing and he fell off his board, and guess what happened? He sank. It wasn't because he couldn't swim. It's because he's so heavy that it's harder for him to swim.
I remember. You remember Second Coming?
Yeah.
Was it Second Coming? That was the end of everything, correct? Wasn't Second Coming the end, and that's when Cable sacrificed himself for Hope and Whoopi? Okay,
I think so. I think you're right.
that's when everybody found out about Cyclops' X-Force was murdering people. So the reason I bring that up is because there was an issue where X-Force was waiting on Wolverine, and it was like a whole ocean between them and the whole nine. And then you slowly, you turn the page, and Wolverine is walking out of the water, meaning they want you to think he literally just walked from San Francisco all the way to Utopia, just under the water, no kind of breathing thing. He just walked. It just depends on the writer.
Yeah, it really, because here's the thing, it always comes down to artistic license. And artistic license is more than just who's drawing it. It's who's writing it. That's why, case in point, I have a video coming out very soon for Wolverine number 43. There is something I'm going to bring up in that video that no one really ever talks about. And it's in regards to Sabretooth. There's a thing that happened in Wolverine number 43 that's just casually mentioned. And it's only casually mentioned because they don't want to draw attention to it, because it's a thing about Sabretooth that has been inconsistent ever since he became a major player in the X-Men's corner of things. And it's whether he has adamantium bones like Wolverine. Does he? Sometimes. Sometimes not. Depends on who's writing it at the time. But getting into it, we got a super chat here and a... Make sure I'm ready for this. 1999 super chat says, this is from Nerd Large, says Bomb Dia Blerdzil says, what's gonna get more hate from the anti-woke crowd, X-Men 97 or Beyonce's country album? But man, look, Beyonce's country album, I got a lot of folks feeling kind of tight right now. And you know why? It's not even just because she's black. It's because they know that album gonna be fire. And not only is it going to be fire, but it's going to lead to more black folks making country albums, and then they really ain't going to be winning no awards no more. It's just going to be Beyonce, Jay-Z going to come out with a country album, everybody else going to drop, Lizzo going to drop a country album.
You know, K. Michelle dropped one.
Really? See, look, and that's what they scared of. That's what they scared of, because they know if we drop a country album, that shit gonna be fire, and everybody gonna want to listen to it. That's why they're mad. But it goes on to say, also shout out to y'all homegirl Allison Russell, Tennessee's legislator, did her dirty. Yeah, so yeah, that was another thing that happened. I heard about is that they tried to block her.
No, they didn't try. They did.
Oh no, they did. But yeah, that was kind of. I was like, bro, really? Like, why are we acting so ignorant? Why are we acting so ignorant right now? Like, what is all this about? And like, shit's wild when you got Paramore out here trying to clown, in defense.
That's who they gave it to.
Yeah.
And they pushed it through for Paramore, but not Allison Russell. And Paramore came out and said, yeah, watch out, little bitch.
Yeah, they're like, excuse you?
Allison Russell is out here.
Look, Haley Williams was like, oh no, y'all ain't about to put me on this shit and have folks coming at me like I'm crazy. She said, no, y'all better hand that shit right the fuck back over. Give that shit to Allison and be done with it. Stop. Look, y'all better look. See, this is why I fucks with Paramore. So there you go. But no, let's get back into it, because we got Carter, I think it's finally time that we do the thing.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about Madam Web now, finally. I put this off for a while, but yes, go ahead, Carter. What were you about to say?
You know what? I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna let my cup pass on this.
Oh, he gonna let the cup. Okay, so here's the thing. So here's the thing. I normally don't do this when I'm in a movie theater, but I actually had my phone out most of the time. So that should already kind of tell you some things. I
You was
made sure-
texting me when I was asking you what book you want.
And look, I turned my brightness all the way down. I was sitting at the very top of the thing, so like no one was. I think there was one other person up there with me, but like, so here's the thing. I'm gonna say some things. This review is gonna be kind of all over the place. So I really hope that y'all bear with me on this. I have a lot to say. Oh, go ahead, shoot.
Real quick, you said you were sitting at the top.
Mm-hmm.
How many people were in your theater when you went to go see it?
Whoo, like 12, maybe. Actually, I don't even think it was 12. Actually, no, it was me. It was under 10. Like it was probably like 8 people, maybe, give or take. And I went in the afternoon. I went like at 1:45. My show was at 1:45.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah. So here's the thing. Madam Web.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the skinny. Here's the skinny on Madam Web. This is a movie that stars Dakota Johnson as the titular character. I want to go ahead and say this right now. If you, and I guess if you are at least tangentially aware of who Dakota Johnson is, you probably are like, oh, wait a minute. Isn't Madam Web supposed to be like some old lady? You with the blindfold on and like the slick back? And you always telling Spider-Man what's popping off?
Mm-hmm.
You would be correct. However, Madam Web has changed a lot over the years. Matter of fact, Madam Web is in the comics currently is younger now. As a matter of fact, is not even the original character anymore. It's actually Sydney Sweeney's character. That is Madam Web now in the comics. The second Spider-Woman. But that's neither here nor there. That's not really the point of this. The main idea here, the main idea here is that this story, man, okay, this isn't really a spoiler. This movie is a throwback to a bygone era of superhero movies. I've talked about this before. Carter, you and I both remember. You and I both remember this. The Thomas Jane Punisher. You remember that movie, right? So this movie is a throwback to that era of superhero movies. Back when the superhero in question, like let's say, regardless of what the movie was, regardless of whether it was I'll say Spider-Man not so much because he actually becomes the character he's supposed to be pretty early on. But the Punisher was kind of like a throwback to that era of movies where the character isn't the character you know from the comics until the end of the movie. And that's because this is a prequel. This is a Madam Web Begins. Like honestly, if they would have put that subtitle on this, I think it would have saved a lot of people a lot of time. But let's just to get into it a little deeper. The whole point of this movie is that Dakota Johnson, she has an accident where she is trying to save a life, because she's a paramedic in the she's a also I kind of want to say because there's a scene that I clipped that's in the trailer, but I want to save that for spoilers. So, but yeah, she's a paramedic, as the tag on her name would tell you, in case you weren't smart enough to know. But no, she has an accident when she's trying to save someone. She's trying to save someone from a car. that is flipped over on a bridge, and it's leaning off the side of the bridge. She ends up saving the person, but ends up falling into the water. And when she does, by the way, this clip is not from this part. It's actually from the very ass end of the movie. So, and I have things to say about this clip we will come back to later. But she ends up, technically dying in the movie, at the beginning, but she comes back, and because for those who don't know, this is Ben Parker. This is Uncle Ben right here, in the shot. By the way, this movie takes place in 2003. If that tells you anything, it does not take place in 2023 or 2024. It takes place in 2003. Make sure you keep that in mind. So Madam Web, this is her becoming Madam Web at this moment. And she's having these premonitions. And these premonitions keep leading her in the direction of this man. Though more technically, these three women as a result as well. And it's one of those deals where like she gets the premonitions like almost kind of right before the thing happens. And now she realizes she's being drawn into the orbit of these three women who, for whatever reason, a reason we'll talk about a little later, this man has his eyes on them. And he is trying to kill them. And this isn't really a spoiler because this is made pretty obvious from the trailer. Yes, same dude. If it wasn't obvious in the trailer, same dude. So, not Spider-Man, murder hobo Spider-Man is trying to kill these three women. And it is up to 50 Shades of Grey to save them. She's got to save these babies so they don't get clapped. That is the premise of the movie right there. None of this is a spoiler. This is all shit from the trailer right here, just broken down in a digestible way. So, now that I've said all that, let me go down the list. I made notes. I made several notes here. I have them, I have them right here. So I'm going to go through these notes. Dakota Johnson, first note. She is the only good thing in this movie. Actually, I take that back. She is one of the only good things in this movie. And I say that because she's actually good in the role. Like, she herself is not bad in the role. She is actually good. I will say this, though. Your mileage with her character will probably vary because of the fact that she is not likable. She is not a nice person at the beginning of the movie. She's kind of, and pardon my French, she's kind of a bitch. Like, she's like, like we joked about this Thursday, like how, everyone has an asshole friend. Like, everyone has that one friend. Every friend group has that one friend who's the asshole. And if you don't have one of those, it's because it's you. It's because you the asshole. And that's not a bad thing. But no, like, she's the type of person who she is friends with a lot of people, but she doesn't like hanging out with them. Like, she doesn't like being social. She doesn't like going to parties and baby showers and stuff like that. She don't want to go do that. And she's also the type of person that, despite the fact that she's a whole paramedic, she acts weird when people thank her for saving their lives. And she's just a very closed off, reclusive person. Like, she's not a people person. And I feel like some of the best dialogue in the movie comes from her. And I feel like a lot of that is probably because it wasn't written. I feel like some of the best things she says in this movie are things she just said. Like, she was just riffing. Maybe there was an ad lib, but I guarantee you, even if it was written, someone else wrote the rest of this movie. Someone else wrote the rest of this film, because whoever wrote the rest of this movie did not write her as a character. I promise you. Someone had to have come in and punched her up. And I don't mean like they came in and physically beat her up. I mean like when a writer comes in, they come in and punch up a script, means they add some flavor to it. Someone had to have done that for her in her regard, because I promise you, she gets the best dialogue in the whole damn movie. And yes, what Herbert Scott says sounds like Asperger's or like autism or like mild sociopathy. Yes, I would actually say I'm going to lean more in the direction of Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's syndrome, like I kind of feel like that's kind of how she is being played up. Okay, so now let's get to the next thing. Because I mentioned the premonitions. The premonition scenes are really cool because they're done incredibly intelligently. Like, I think I actually have a clip right here that I'll,
So you recorded a clip in the damn theater. Y'all can't
No, I didn't record the clip in the theater. This is like, it's literally the actual trailer. It's actually something that I clipped it from the trailer. I'm not that unscrupulous. But
you just called me unscrupulous.
But like, you know, stuff like this right here where like you're seeing like, you know, these scenes and like, you see dude like breaking these girls off and then she comes back and she's like, oh my God, like what the hell just happened? Stuff like that. When that stuff happens, it's really cool because it's done very well. Like every scene where she has a premonition, like I won't lie, at first it becomes a little annoying because she's being very obtuse about the premonitions. Like she's trying to act like, oh no, I didn't see what I just saw. But like she does that for a while. And then eventually when you get to this scene, that's when it kind of starts clicking in her head. She realizes, no, I am seeing the future. So it's cool how they do it because they make you feel uneasy when the premonitions happen. Which is the whole point. You're supposed to feel uneasy about these premonitions. And I love how they did it. Like, those are, like, honestly, the things I just said right here, these are the nicest things I can say about this movie. Because everything else I'm going to say, I'm about to tear this motherfucker open. Okay? I'm about to go all the way the fuck in. Let me put on I got to put on my bullshit boots. Because I'm about to go wading in the bullshit water. Okay, so let's go and get to it. I said earlier, the dialogue that belongs to Dakota Johnson is the best in the movie.
Yeah. that
is because the rest of the fucking dialogue is fucking atrocious. It is atrociously this, like, you know what, for a movie, and you know, maybe this is on purpose. This movie takes place in 2003 when a lot of iffy or suspect superhero movies came out. So maybe that was intentional. Maybe it's by design. Because this does feel like a movie that came out in 2003. And not in a good way. The dialogue in this movie is terrible. Absolutely abjectly terrible. Matter of fact, I don't even want to dunk on the one that I found the most egregious just yet. I actually want to dunk a little bit on this motherfucker right here. Yeah, this dude. Oh my God. Oh man. Woo! This man right here. Now let's use this one. Bam. Tahar Rahim, who plays Ezekiel Sims.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't look up any videos to know what this brother sounds like when he is just talking. But I'm going to tell you something. He is bad. His lines are delivered very terribly. He is not a convincing villain. He is probably one of the worst things in this movie. And I'm going to tell you another problem I have with it. It's because I feel like his lines were 80-yard in. Like, even, you know how, like, when someone's looking, okay, so you know, like, when the camera, you're looking at a perspective, and, like, there's a character who's, like, kind of in front of the camera, but their back is to you. So that's when they usually do the ADR. The whole movie felt like he was ADR'd the entire movie, even when he's looking at the fucking camera. And I don't know if it's because he normally has a heavy accent, and, you know, because he's not playing someone with a heavy accent. He's playing someone who was clearly American in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But I feel like with him, it's like when he talked, it wasn't like Saturday morning kung fu movie dub bad, but you could tell like his words just weren't lining up with his lip movements.
That man had a bad anime dub voice.
Yes,
right now.
basically, yes. Yes, no, that is precisely what it was. This was okay. So if some of y'all that are on the younger side, you don't know about this, but I'm talking about like you think you know about it, but you don't know about it. Back in the 80s and 90s, when like dubs were always bad, like there were let's be honest, there were no good anime dubs in the 80s and 90s. It just was not true. It wasn't a thing. That's what this dude sounds like in the movie. Like, he doesn't sound like he's actually on the screen with everyone else who is also on the fucking screen. And I'm sure he's a good actor in other things. But in this, he was fucking bad. Yeah, it's like, it is. Bro! Like, I swear to God, like, I never at any point felt like he was actually talking. Honestly, if I did some deeper diving in this and found out that they had a guy play the villain, like, physically on screen, but had another person do his voice,
like,
I would believe you.
Like Twisted Metal, how they have Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth, but whatever the dude is from the rest of, okay.
Yes! God, I'm forgetting Arrested Development guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah, it's like that. Only you can see this motherfucker's face. So wait. Frantic World said that Double Toasted said the same thing about this character. Okay, so I'm not because see, I have not watched anyone else's reviews about this shit. I wanted to have my own fucking opinion, so I have not watched any reviews about this. So the fact that I'm not the only one saying this, especially people who are more reputable, more well-known movie reviewers, like Dyed in the Wool movie reviewers are saying this. Okay, so then it was bad. Okay, so I'm not alone here. Okay, so moving on. I don't want to talk about this motherfucker no more because his motivation, while it is okay, his execution is terrible. First off, Murder Hobo Spider-Man, you would think that having a Spider-Man in the movie who literally just is there to murk people. That's his whole thing. Because his power is that when he touches you, he poisons you. He's basically got the Ninja Scroll. He's Kagero from Ninja Scroll. You touch him and it is over. They wasted this. Not only that, because once again, this is in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
He's not Spider-Man. He's just a Spider-Man. So there were some moments here where I was like, man, if this dude had webs, he would totally be a threat. He has no webs. So that takes away some of the menace of this guy. And honestly, if he had webs, this movie would have been over in like 5 seconds. But moving on, because we got bigger fish to fry here. We got other problems with this movie. So Carter, do you remember how you and I were joking about how there's only one reason you're going to see this movie?
Mm-hmm.
If you go see it at all.
That's 2 reasons.
Oh, what show 2 reasons?
Oh no, her neck is the thing from the neck down. You get what I'm saying now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay. So 2 scoops of titties. Well, okay, so here's the thing. You ain't getting it. If you, like, remember how people you say, man, I'm only going to go see that Halle Berry Catwoman to see Halle Berry walking around in a skimpy outfit. Well, guess what? If this was your idea going into this movie, get that out your head right now. So here's the thing. I'll talk about that more in spoilers. Sydney Sweeney is the second worst person in this fucking movie. And it hurts my fucking soul to say that out loud.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It does. It hurts my soul. She is awful in this. And I'm gonna tell you why. Her character, here, we're gonna pull this up. So Sydney Sweeney, she is supposed to be playing Julia Carpenter, who is the second Spider-Woman. But there's a problem with Sydney Sweeney. I feel like she's in the wrong movie. Because this is the look she has on her face the whole fucking movie. Like, I feel like someone told her she was in a horror movie and forgot to tell her, no, this is actually Madam Web. The whole movie, she is pretending to be this shrinking violet. She's a shrinking violet character. Is her performance better if you turn the sound down? No, no, because it's her facials. It's her facials. She's always got this. Oh, look here. I'm just gonna put us up. She's always got this. Golly gosh, gee willikers thing going on. Like, it's just like.
Now, you think that may more so be that's what they told her to do?
I feel like that's what they told her. Yeah, no,
okay.
I feel like she was directed to do this, but like this is the look she got on her face the whole movie. This is the look that she has on her face the entire fucking movie. And she's always just like, oh my God, I'm just look how shy I am. That's her the whole fucking movie. Oh my God, is this a thing? Oh my, like, I'm just like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. And then every once in a while, her Euphoria character comes out. For like 2 seconds. Like a hot 2 seconds, the Euphoria come out and then it go back in.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because you said something. You said a lot without saying it.
Yeah,
Do
go ahead.
you think that Euphoria was just a one-off? Like, okay, well, I'm trying to figure out another way to say it. Like, would you know how
like they just found the right character for her and she can't do anything else?
Well, no, I don't want to say they found the right character for her, just because her character was, for the most part, was just chess, and it's clear that the girl, she wants to prove that she is a great actress.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want you all, if you all have seen something with her where she's acting well, please just let me know in the comments now or in the comments later, because I ain't seen it. Seen it, and I'm like, I was gonna say, like, when it came to Euphoria, is it, when wrestling, when somebody wins the belt, so now everybody thinks that dude is an immediate threat, but then he immediately loses the belt at the next pay-per-view.
Oh yeah. She got Randy Orton, that first Randy Orton title defense. Where Triple H come and say, "Yeah, big time, you won the belt, but it's me."
You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody wins Money in the Bank, and then you're like, "Oh, okay, they finna be a whole problem." And then they cash in and lose,
like Baron Corbin did.
Like. Because let's keep it a band. Like, when people bring up Euphoria, it's 10 times out of 8 they talking about Zendaya. So with Sydney Sweeney, like, I'm trying to give her something to where maybe she was directed to be like that.
Oh no, she was directed. I promise you, she was directed. She was directed to do this. I promise you, she was directed to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you. I fucking promise you she was. Here's the thing. Here, I want to pull up some stuff. Because I haven't really watched anything else with Sydney Sweeney in it. Like, I've only seen... So
Mailman actually said it. Is Sydney Sweeney in that raunchy rom-com with Glenn Powell? Yes, she is. I saw it yesterday. She was bad in that, so that's what.
Damn. Okay, so here's my thing.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the dialogue was so cringy and bad, and it seemed so forced. And like, when you want Sydney Sweeney to show emotion, like you want her to be sad about something or heartbroken or psycho, she can do the faces, but it's just the acting is just. So, maybe she was directed.
No. I 100%. So here's the thing. I've seen her in The Handmaid's Tale, and the character she plays there is a bit different from what a good bit different from what she does in Euphoria. But like, it's still one of those things. I feel like this was directed. I feel like she was absolutely positively directed to do everything she did in this. I feel this was intentional.
Was she good in Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah, I mean, she's not in it very much, but I mean,
Okay.
for what little bit, I think she was in like 5 or 6 episodes, maybe 7 at most.
Yeah.
I mean, she was good in it for what she was. But
Okay, so it's the movie.
Yeah,
It's the movie.
everybody else is in the movie. Because we've also got we got old girl right here, Celeste O'Connor. She was inconsistent, inconsistent as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, who else do we have here? Okay, so here's her thing. Her role was to be the bitchy friend. Like, she was the fuck the world and I'm mean to other people because reasons. Okay, I said the asshole friend. She was the other asshole friend. She was the one that everybody's like, man, you just got to get used to her. You just have to know her. Like, she was that character. And then who was the other one? Oh my God. Oh, right here. Boom. Isabella Merced playing Anya Corazon.
You mean the shit you put on your lips?
Yeah. She was kind of okay, but also kind of bad at the same time too. Which makes me sad because this is Hawk Girl. This is she's gonna be playing Hawk Girl in James Gunn's DCU. So I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned.
I hope this was a good bag for you, at least.
I mean, I hope so, but like, look, here's the thing. All 3 girls here were just kind of like Sydney Sweeney was the worst of the 3. She was the worst of the 3, clearly. Full stop.
Damn.
The other 2, you could tell they were trying, but like the dialogue, I feel like, let's be real. I think it's a combination of a couple things. I think it's a combination of bad acting, which is in a bad script and bad direction, which all movies die at the script writing phase. Look, the demon inside said, you said she was going to play Hot Girl, and my roommate screamed, no! No! Why? Yeah, she about to be Hawk Girl. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I hope she gets better. But yeah, it ain't looking good for the DCU right now. We gonna have to hope that what was the boy's name? Corn Sweat. Corn Sweat.
Oh wow.
And the marvelous Mrs. Maisel can hold it down, because man, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. Yeah, go ahead. Go off, King. Go off, King.
Were they at least okay? Because everything you've shown so far is in relation to them being their normal selves.
Yes.
When they were Spider-Woman, when they had the suit on, was it at least better at that point?
You know what, Carter?
What?
Talk about this. We're gonna go into the spoiler zone.
Okay.
Y'all, I'm about to spoil this movie. I know some people might think I've already spoiled it, but you are incorrect. I have not spoiled it yet, but I'm about to. So I'm going to go say right now, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you would not like to be spoiled, I'm going to go ahead and put this up for y'all. Spoiler alert. Okay, so earlier when I said if you thought you were like, oh, I'm gonna go, this movie's probably gonna be bad, I'm gonna go see it just so I can see Sydney Sweeney in the skin tight outfit. Well, let me go ahead and divorce you of that right now.
Okay.
These costumes are in premonitions and premonitions only.
Oh, no.
Premonitions that do not take place in the movie.
So they never in the suits the entire time, except
no, never. They are never in the costumes. They are never in the costume. Okay, so let me tell you something.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold the fuck up. The anime dub guy.
Yeah,
Is he in the suit?
he is. So Tahir Rahim, when you see this motherfucker, that is in present day. So here's the best way to describe this movie. Here's the best way to describe this movie is Terminator. This movie is Terminator, and that is the T-1000.
Let me
Actually, even the T-1000. He's the T-800 from the original Terminator. He is the T-800 from the original Terminator. He is trying to kill 3 Sarah Connors.
So how long was this movie?
Hour and 54, just 10 minutes longer than Morbius.
Okay. So for that entire time, he don't want, so does Madam Web herself not get a suit? He's the only one in the suit the whole movie. Okay.
Oh, Carter, you're sitting down. You're sitting down.
Yeah.
So no. Let me.
I'm trying to make it make sense. Like maybe she was in the suit and whoop dude or some shit. Is how they gonna spin it off?
Carter.
In my defense, y'all.
I hate to be the guy to tell you this, Carter. I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the one to tell you this because I feel like
I know. Hold on, Elite X1. I know he said the costumes. I know he just said the costumes are a mind thing. Use your fucking ears because I see you trying to talk smart. I said, was Madam Web in a fucking suit? He just told me those 3 weren't.
Yes.
Use your fucking ears. I'm trying to see if Madam Web was in one and she's the one that beat old boy.
Okay, so here's what happens. Madam Web, this costume that we see in all the promotional materials, you don't see this shit to the end of the movie. Like literally. And when I say the end of the movie, I mean right for the credits roll. This costume does not see the light of day until the movie is literally about to end. The credits are about to roll. She is not wearing the costume when she defeats not Spider-Man. Never. These costumes right here. You do not see these. Okay, you remember the trailer? Remember how you saw these in the trailer? Those scenes are the only times these costumes come up in the movie.
So
I take it back. Yeah.
But I was gonna say I did catch the product placement because the shot of old boy in the suit, it was a Calvin Klein sign behind it.
Yes.
And then the shot when you showed the 3 girls, the one girl was wearing Calvin Klein drawers. So
yes,
are their suits just Calvin Klein outfits? And
that's it. Yeah. Look, let me tell you something. They got the coldest superhero outfits ever in the history of ever. You know what they look like, Carter? Like this. That's your Spider-Woman costume right here. Look at this Spider-Woman fit right here, y'all.
That
look
dude
at this.
is embarrassing. That dude got whooped by a sister wearing an Adidas jacket.
Yeah. Well, no. Here's the other thing too. Okay, so let's go ahead and spoil this shit because this dude's the most trash.
Wait, go back to that shot of the sister in the woods with the Adidas jacket.
Oh, yeah.
I just figured it out. Is this in some correlation to Hawkeye? Is she with the bros?
No.
Are they linking those?
I wish.
With the Spider-Man movie and the Hawkeye shit? Okay.
So here, I want to tell you something. So we talked about this dude, right? This cat right here. The cat, Mr. Calvin Klein, the not Spider-Man. Guess what he gets broke off by? The Pepsi logo.
Huh?
I'm not joking. He gets broke off by the Pepsi logo. So they fight at the final show. Okay, so let me go ahead and explain this. So the final showdown between Madam Web and this dude is at the Pepsi is at a Pepsi Cola building. It's at a Pepsi Cola, like the factory where they manufacture Pepsi Cola. So here's the deal.
It's like the fucking Power Rangers move without a Krispy Kreme. Shit.
Right. So here's the thing that happens. At no point does anyone actually fight this guy, because we have to keep in mind, he already has spider powers.
Okay.
He already has spider powers. Also, do you remember... let me see if I'm gonna pull these up, because I want you to see this, and you're gonna laugh when I say this. Do you remember how in Spider-Man Far From Home at the end of the movie, it kind of looked like they took some assets from the Spider-Man PS4, PS5 game?
Okay.
You remember the part where like when Jay Jonah reveals that Spider-Man is Peter Parker at the end of the movie, and they do that part where like Spider-Man lands on the street post, and it looks just like how it does in the PlayStation game?
Okay.
So that's because, these movies are made by Sony, so they share assets. That was technically them taking the PS4 version of Spider-Man and but not but like taking the mocap for it and putting it into that movie. So here's the deal. Now I want to make sure I'm clear when I say this.
Okay.
So do you remember these shots? The one like the shit like this right here, where Peter still got the simi. He come down and he freaking out.
I do remember that.
There's a shot that is literally this shot, but with Madam Web or Sydney Sweeney or somebody, and the other dude doing the exact same fucking thing. Only no tendrils. It's just him. Like he lands on the ground, and stands up real slow and looks around like he's trying to figure out where they are. There's a shot, and I'm not fucking playing. This shot is in the goddamn movie.
Y'all are nasty. Sony nasty.
They nasty as hell for this.
Hold on. Because somebody else just asked it in the chat. Shade 757. So why is he trying to kill them in the first place?
Okay, so the reason why he is trying to kill them, so there are those shots I told you that were not in that were in the trailer, but were not in the actual movie.
Hold on. Thanos' right said he can't even get killed by Coke like all the rest of the Hollywood heroes. Getting taken out by Pepsi is nasty work.
So here's the thing. So this movie is tons of product placement. So here's the thing. I want to show y'all what he got broke off. I want to show y'all what he got broke off by. I want to show y'all what he got broke off by. You see this sign right here?
Yeah.
You see that P in the middle, the not the first P, not the big P, but the little P. That P falls off the sign and crushes him. That P, because this is where they're fighting. This is where they're fighting on this. Only it's higher up in the air, obviously. Like it's on the top of a building. And also that S also almost kills him earlier. So here's the thing. One of her premonitions is literally of this S falling right in front of her earlier in the movie. And at first I was like, oh, are they trying to do they trying to show us that this is a Spider-Man movie by having the S from Spider-Man? But then when I got a closer look at it, I was like, oh, this is the Pepsi S. This is the S in the Pepsi font. He died by the little Joker. He got killed by the little Joker. The only man in history to get killed by the little Joker. No, so here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about this. So the reason why he is trying to go after these women is because that scene from the trailer where all three of the women are in the spider costumes. Mm-hmm. That's because that scene is his vision of them killing him. None of these heifers have spider powers yet. None of these women have spider powers in the movie. And as a matter of fact, this shot comes up again at the end of the film where Madam Web, who has now finally been blinded, because she's got eyesight the whole movie. When dude gets broke off by the Pepsi logo, Carter, do you remember the Michael Jackson story? The part where like Michael Jackson's dancing for the Pepsi commercial and the sparks hit him. He's like, oh, my head.
I remember that.
This is what happens to her. One of the sparks, there's explosions going off everywhere. The spark comes down while she's like she's falling in the water, and the spark come down and hit her in the eye. She's like, oh, my eyes. As she floats, like she's like doing this, going down in the water. Oh, my eyes.
We have to have discussions about this movie because this is your job. YouTube is your job.
Yes.
I'm here with you as well. This is how we create content. This is how we get monetary gain from this. So for you pretty much have to do this. What about them other 7 people that was in that movie theater for you? They don't do this.
Look, let me tell you something. You know how normally in a Marvel movie people hang around to see the end credits?
Yeah.
Everybody got up and just started walking out. Didn't nobody, like, there was one woman who was hanging around hoping for a post credit. So what I did is I literally did that woman a solid. I was like, look, there ain't no post credit in this shit. Which, by the way, that wasn't a lie. There is no post credits in this movie at all. Like, not even a little bit. I'm trying to see if I can find. I wish I'd have taken the shot when I was in the theater, because at the end of the movie. Oh, that's the other thing. She also becomes paralyzed at the end of the movie as well. You know, like in the comics, Madam Web is supposed to be in a wheelchair, like she doesn't walk. So the end of the movie, that is when, like, so basically when they come back to her at the end of the movie, she is wearing something that is a little bit closer to what you would expect Madam Web to be wearing. And then there's a point where the girls are like, oh, you know, because bear in mind, she didn't get along with any of these 3 heifers the whole movie. Damn near.
Okay.
Madam Web ends up adopting all 3 of these girls because they basically all come from like shitty situations. So basically, here, let me go and put this on blast. So there's a point in the movie where we learn more about these 3 girls. Well, the black girl, who is Maddie Franklin, her parents are rich, but they didn't want to have kids. So apparently they just left town and went overseas to China or somewhere. And they literally ain't. And basically she's talking like, oh, well, they're rich and they're probably not going to come back. Actually, honestly, I feel like they just kind of left me and I'm just kind of here by myself. The only people that are there to take care of me are the housekeeper. She basically implies that, yeah, her parents just left and probably ain't coming back. Isabella Merced's character, who's Anya Corazon, she is an illegal immigrant. And her dad also is an illegal immigrant. And he was recently deported. So now she's been living in the apartment and telling the landlord that her dad is out right now and he'll be back later because his ass is back in Mexico. And has been in Mexico for 6 months. And the landlord is like, all right, I'm going to give you one more day. That thing is literally his said.
She ain't paid rent in 6 months. This is a goddamn movie.
Right? Dude, she'd have been out. And then Sydney Sweeney's character, her mother is in an insane asylum and her dad remarried. And while she's living with her dad, she says, oh, well, my dad acts like he don't want me there. There's like a part at the beginning of the movie where Madam Web, before she becomes Madam Web, saves her mother's life. Because I believe she was the woman that was in the car that, different. It's before that. A woman she saves before that. And basically when they like, oh, hey, the family can come back. And the girl, Sydney Sweeney, she getting ready to walk back there with her dad and the other kids. And dad's like, oh, she probably just wants us. So basically she was running away from home. So basically none of these 3 heifers had homes to go to. So Madam Web at the end of the movie, because they've now bonded over trauma and the collective being chased down by the not Terminator Spider-Man. Now she has adopted these 3 girls. And now they live with her, and she's living in the loft apartment where she has the window that she looks out of that every superhero has in New York. Every superhero has the loft apartment that has the one circular window.
So she didn't want these girls because of the Spider-Man. She just needed somebody to take care of her because she was a cripple now.
maybe but no, at the end of the movie she's in the electric wheelchair and she's got the big ass blue blocker glasses on that's supposed to look like the blindfold that she got on. And then at the end of the movie they show the scene because the girl's like, or no, what was it? She's like, I have everything I need now because I have y'all. And it's at that point that we learn that she has had a vision that all three of these girls are going to eventually become different versions of Spider-Woman, and she is going to be their Nick Fury. She's like, have you heard about the Spider-Woman initiative? Have you? You haven't? Well, it's a thing. Okay, so you know what it is? So there's a joke. There's a joke here. Because they even say this when, so full disclosure, Madam Web, the whole point of her character is that she was a baby inside her mama's belly when she got her superpowers. Because the dude, the not Terminator guy, killed her mother in the Amazon because he was looking for the spider, some secret spider that if it bit you could give you superpowers. Well, she finds the spider and he kills her to get it. But these other people who live out there in the Amazon who are spider people, they all have been bitten by the spider. They're these tribal people. They come and save the mama so that they can save the baby. They put the woman in the water and they let a spider bite her, and the powers, basically the bitch had become Blade.
I didn't expect him to say it like that. I didn't expect it.
Y'all, wait a minute. Y'all remember how in Blade, Deacon Frost bit his mama?
Little flashback, she just reaching like that with the blood all over. Yeah, I remember that.
So basically, they did that, but instead of Deacon Frost, it was a spider that bit her mama, and the spider powers didn't fled down to the baby, and the mama done died, and the baby done survived. Now the baby, she ain't got spider powers, but she got premonitions. So she does some eat, pray, love shit and flies back to the Amazon towards the end of the movie because she realized she need all her powers to beat not Spider-Man. So she go back, get the DLC buff. She paid the little $10, $15, get the DLC buff. Now she got all the premonitions. She can't cling on no walls, but there's a part where the dude who gives her the ability to unlock the rest of her powers, do you know what he says to her? When you take responsibility, great power will come. So yeah, no, here's the thing. The Aranyas is who I'm talking about. They're in the movie. That's who I'm talking about. The tribal people that have the spider powers. They're in the movie for a little bit. Also, here I want to bring this up. We also see the birth of Peter Parker in this movie.
Okay.
So yeah.
Elite X1, he just said in the chat that to basically all this to keep the Spider-Man rights. The only thing that I haven't heard about this film is that Uncle Ben is in it.
Yes.
And that May is in it.
Okay, so no. Okay, correction. It's Mary.
Mary.
So Mary Parker is in the movie. And they allude to her, to Peter Parker's dad being a man of mystery. So Ben And okay, so they make this joke as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ben is the best friend who she works with, who saved her life when she was about to drown.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another joke that's brought up after the baby is born.
Mm-hmm.
So Peter is born, and there's even a joke made that like, oh, well, what about Richard Jr. or Ben? And she's like, nah, I'm good. About naming the baby. But then when later at the end of the movie, because at the end of the movie, the baby's already been born, it's born a little earlier. There's a point where the girls come home. This is all at the end where like the movie's literally like about to hit credits, and they're like, hey, we just checked in on Mary, and oh, the baby's doing great. And yeah, and then there's a casual mention that, oh man, when is Ben gonna have some kids of his own? Or no, there's a passing, or no, they say they talked to Ben, and Ben says the kid's doing great, but he is so glad he doesn't have that responsibility. And then Madam Web literally says, oh, just you wait, because you know.
Yeah, but I heard that, and again, going back to Elite X1 saying that they trying to keep the Spider-Man rights. I heard that they never mention what the baby's name is because they can't say Peter Parker.
I don't recall anyone saying Peter at any point. I don't recall anyone saying Peter at any point. They show the baby being born. Yeah.
But do they even still have the rights if they can't say Peter Parker? They just got the rights to the side characters?
I think what's happening here is they are... I feel like this is one of the situations where maybe they felt it would have been a little too heavy-handed. But the problem is the whole movie is heavy-handed about the fact that this is Spider-Man. They literally have a dude in a Spider-Man suit and doing things Spider-Man does, just he doesn't web swing. That's the only thing he doesn't do. The whole thing about spider sense and, you know, tingling, and, you know, they even try to recreate the scene where Tobey Maguire figures out that he can crawl on walls. They do that exact same scene shot for shot with Madam Web, but they play it for laughs because her ass can't crawl on walls. They even do it from the same angle, and she's like trying to climb, and her ass slides and falls all the way the fuck back down to the ground. They do that shit. So I don't know, man. It is weird. This is a weird ass fucking movie. But yeah. So did you ever see Dracula Untold? Did you ever see that movie? Okay.
Yes,
so do you remember the end of the movie where Charles Dance is like, the game is on?
Yeah.
They do that shit with this movie. Like that whole scene with all of the spider women, with all the spider women like standing together, they do this scene, but in a different version of it, where they're all three in the suits, and Madam Web is kind of hovering above them. They like, it's basically like this at the end of the movie, like minus the shit in the background, but like she's got the glasses on. Because she's blind, she can't see, and she's sitting in her little chair, hovering up in the air and shit. They do a shot just like this at the end of the movie, and it's basically like all right, we're gonna see y'all in the sequel when we actually got our powers, and we're gonna be fighting real supervillains. Can't wait to see you there. Yeah, this movie is hot trash. Just putting that out there. Movie is hot trash.
I did see somebody in the chat. They say that they enjoyed themselves.
That's fine.
That means you got your money's worth.
Yeah.
Apparently, this man here did not.
Wait a minute. Right here. This right here is basically what they said at the end of the movie. To me, my spiders. That's basically what
that
they
shit made
said.
my skin crawl. Don't do that. Ugh.
Like, here's the thing. Look, I didn't like the movie. I agree with Carter. If someone enjoyed it, if you found enjoyment in this, cool. I did not. This movie made me tired. Like, I was fighting sleep. That's why I was on my phone taking notes, because the movie just was not holding my attention. So these are Peter's guardian angels, pretty much. More or less. But yeah, no, they do have to make, yeah, but to the credit of Elite X1, they do have to keep making Spider-Man related films every 2 years, so often, so that they retain the rights. This was the same shit that was going on with X-Men over at Fox. Also, this is how Marvel got Daredevil back before the Disney Fox deal. Y'all remember how like we got that Daredevil TV show, all the Netflix stuff? The reason why that was made is because so Fox was trying to get a Daredevil movie out. That they were trying to fast track that shit, and they had to have a movie in production, in active production, by a certain date. If they did not have an active movie in production by that certain date, then they lose the rights. The rights automatically revert back to Marvel. This is why you got so many X-Men movies where it's like, man, why did they even bother with this? And it's like, because they have to. So the way intellectual property rights work is, at least with most deals, you either use it or you lose it. That's why, like, you ever notice how we keep getting those Willy Wonka movies ever so often, even though technically we don't need a new Willy Wonka? Well, the reason why is because if you don't use the rights, then you lose them. You have to. And if you're going to spend millions of dollars on that shit, well, this is why you're going to get it.
Gotcha.
You have to exercise your right to the property. Otherwise, it goes back to the original person. So yeah, this is why this was made. I guarantee you this was because here's the thing. Sony knew they were not making any new Spider-Man movies right away. So if they're going to go like 4 or 5 years without making a Spider-Man movie, or at least until they have one in active production, you got to throw some bullshit out. That's why you get that Morbius. It's why you get that Madam Web, and why we're getting a Kraven the Hunter. This is why these movies are spread out. Where it's like, Kraven the Hunter's done. It's done. That movie's been done. But they're going to wait to put it out.
I know this thing to like things that other people don't like, you know, I guess to like show that you're better than those people. But like, well, okay, real quick, one thing I want to point out is Carlos Johnson saying, so Sony and Zeb Wells are working together to ruin Spider-Man?
This movie soiled itself while unconscious. God damn it.
It wasn't unconscious though.
I mean, look, they was awake.
But my thing is,
yeah.
When are y'all going? Not, and when I say y'all, I just mean everybody collectively. When are y'all gonna stop watching these fucking movies? Like, when are you going to stop giving them your money so that they're making these millions and millions of dollars to pump out more of this mess? When are y'all just gonna be like, okay, yeah, that's coming. I'm not watching that bullshit, and then everybody collectively just don't watch it because at some point they get like, come on, man, come on. And again, I know it's a thing for some people. You're gonna have those people that actually enjoy this film, and then you're gonna have those people that only enjoy it because you don't enjoy it, to kind of throw it in your face that they're better than you. But like collectively, when do you say when? That's my question.
Man, look, I don't even know. I do not know. I'll tell you what I do know. I will tell you what I do know.
You gotta stop saying that shit though. The Orange Drip. If they own all the Spidey properties, give us a live action Miles or Null. You really want Miles and Null live action like this?
Man, look, let me tell you something. If they make a Null movie, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna be called. It ain't gonna be a Spider-Man movie or a Venom movie. It's just gonna be called Null, and it's gonna be a Null Begins fucking story, and it's gonna be fucking awful.
Here's the question for you.
What's up?
C.E. Roos asking, so who is this movie for?
So I'm gonna tell you who this movie is for. They did this on purpose. They released this movie on Valentine's Day because they knew that, you know, you're gonna be going out on dates. You know, women are going to be going out on dates. Men are going to be going out on dates. You know, some significant other is going to take their significant other to the movie. So you're probably going to want to go see this. You're going to say, hey, I mean, because let's be real. I don't, and I want to make sure I preface this by saying I don't feel this way, but I know how Hollywood thinks. They're thinking, oh, Well, it's Valentine's Day, and, guys are going to have to take their girlfriends out to the movies. And, this has a woman in it, so, like, it'll be like a chick flick. And they'll go take their, because that's the old trope. It's the old trope. It's what people used to do even back then, where it's like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. You're going to take your girlfriend, go see a chick flick. Yeah. So there you go. But the thing is, they're hoping that people who like superhero movies, who are women, will go see this movie. They hope that women who maybe aren't necessarily big fans of superhero movies, but are superhero movie curious, will go see this movie. And while, yes, I will agree, they do think that, they can maybe catch that Captain Marvel crowd, it ain't gonna happen. Because I can tell you this much. When I went to go see the Marvels, the theater was packed. Okay? The theater was packed. There wasn't nobody in this motherfucker. They went to go see Bob Marley. So yeah, I have no idea. Man, it hurts my feelings. I want to be for real here. This movie hurts my fucking feelings that it is so fucking egregiously unfucking fun. This movie, like, on paper, the way that you look at this movie, like, I'm gonna pull this back up. You look at this shit, you're like, okay, all right, costumes are kind of weird looking, but okay, maybe this could be fun. No, not fun. Not fun. Not fun at all. Not even a little bit. That said, Carter, man, I want to get into the super chat we got right here. We got a super chat up here that I think almost went away. There we go. I caught it. SK Marvel says with the 1999 super chat, says Sony needs to just take the L and let them rights go. Okay, look, I agree with you 100 million %. And honestly, I feel like Disney could just buy them off of Sony if they really wanted to. But I feel like Sony might be asking for a lot of money, because here's the problem. Sony's not going to let them rights go because it's a license to print money. Spider-Man is the first billion-dollar property Sony has ever had. Now, let's also bear in mind here that, those movies just make way too much money for Sony to let them go. But also, we got to think about the fact that because Sony knows what they have, they know they have the rights to a billion-dollar franchise. And also, Spider-Man is the most recognizable and most marketable superhero of all time. Yes, even more than Batman. Spider-Man has marketing rights that are so legendary. There are people who would literally leap at the opportunity to get them away from Sony, other than Disney. There are people actively out there trying to get the rights from Sony, more so than Disney. So yeah, it's a license to print money. That's what Spider-Man is, and people know this. So Sony is not going to let them things go for less than billions of dollars. And Disney knows this too. So the only way Disney is going to get those rights back is if they either A, cough up those billions, or B, Sony fucks up. And Sony ain't going to fuck up. Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Afro Boy Productions said, don't forget about the games. But here's the thing. I'm not forgetting about the games either. I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about the whole ball of wax. Everything. I'm talking about the whole line. I'm not talking about just movies. I'm talking about video games. I'm talking about cartoons. I'm talking about lunchboxes. I'm talking about sneakers. I'm talking about coloring books. I'm talking about the whole thing. That is a license to print money, and anyone who lets it go would be the biggest fool. No matter, bad movies aside, Sony would be the laughing stock of the entertainment industry if they let those rights go. They would have to sell them.
And I don't even think there is a number that they would say yes to, because I see
no.
Elite X1 is saying to buy them out.
Yeah.
I don't think they let them.
I don't think they won't. Look, here's the thing. What Frank Gleason just said. Sony is dumb,
Yeah.
not stupid. There's a difference. There's a major difference between the two.
Dwayne Scott, my fellow nerds, if I was a Disney boss, I promise you I would buy Sony if they let you.
Here, I'm going to give you...
say no.
Here, I want to pull up something because I want y'all to understand something. Do you know how much it took for Disney to buy out Fox? $71.3 billion.
And apparently Fox just happened to be up for sale at the time. So here's something I want to make very clear to you. Sony makes stupid decisions all the time. Case in point, Madden Web.
Yes. So Star Wars was $4.05 billion. So that's significantly less, because you got to think about the fact we're talking about an entire studio and publisher versus one thing. Lucasfilm isn't one thing, but Lucasfilm is infinitely smaller than Fox. Spider-Man, there's no way Sony lets that go for less than anywhere between $20 to $50 billion. There's no way. There's no way.
And I still don't even see them letting it go for that, just because of the liquid that Spider-Man is. They could probably just make that themselves just from y'all talking about video games, shit, toys, lunch boxes, kid notebooks, pencils, you know what I'm saying? So
stickers.
I need him doing it. Yeah. So I don't need him doing that, man.
Yeah. like I'm gonna tell you what, walk down next time you're in like a Target or like a Walmart, walk down the toy aisle. Tell me how many Spider-Man toys you see versus everything else. Spider-Man could take its own section of, like, I remember when I used to work for Target, Spider-Man had almost an entire aisle to itself. That's why I'm saying, like, don't get it twisted. Merchandising is a motherfucker. Yeah, movies is one thing, but merchandising is where the real money often is. And yeah, it would be, like, honestly, it's more likely Sony fucks up and loses the rights than them just selling it. That is more likely. But it's bad all the way across the board. But you know what I will say is, before we get into our next thing, which is going to be recommendations, I am going to just go ahead and scroll us over to recommendations. But I do want to say, if you are a member of the Discord, I do want to let you guys know there's a little something brewing. It's in the works. I can't say too much about it right now, but I will definitely say that I am in talks with the creative team of the Thundercats by Dynamite. I don't know if that interview will be on the Blerd Cave. So because we don't really know if that's going to happen, because we're talking about two different people who live in two different places that I'm trying to talk to at the same time, who live in completely different time zones from one another. And by time zones, I mean they have at least 6 to 10 hours difference between them and myself. So we are probably not going, I don't know if that will work out, if that's tenable to do on the Blerd Cave. So in the event that it is not, I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to do it. Or actually, you know what? I will do it right now. I'm going to do it right now because, why not? I'm literally sitting right here. I can do this. This is a thing. I'm going to make a duplicate channel in the Discord. And it's going to be called Questions. But it'll also be, it'll have a little more on it. You might have to like zoom in or whatever to see it, but it's going to be at the bottom of the general information tab in the Discord. If you want to, ask a question that would be for either Declan Shalvey or Drew Moss or both, put those questions in that channel. Do not put them in the one. And here, and just to make it easier, I'm gonna name the other one Questions Blerd Cave, and just so that there's no mix up. So there'll be Questions Blerd Cave, and there'll be questions for Thundercats. If you have a question you want me to ask Declan Shalvey, you want us to ask Declan Shalvey or Drew Moss, however it pans down, put it there. Mm-hmm. Because there will be. Also, yeah, I want to say too, same. I see Jonathan Stewart brought this up, and I find it a little concerning. I'm a little bit concerned. We have 313 people in here, maybe 320, depending on how it shakes down. And man, I'm not gonna lie, I only see 250 likes. I would like to see that change. Please, thank you. Please, thank you. It's a small ask. I know, but it is a small ask. It is free. And it also helps this channel out tremendously. You have no idea, because it recommends the video to more people like yourself. And I would appreciate that. We're still on our strive trying to get to 100,000 subscribers here, and we're fast approaching. Because last I checked, I want to make sure that I'm not misrepresenting, but I believe. As of today, we are at 91.6, almost 91.7 thousand subscribers. And I'm telling you guys right now, we can make this happen. It can happen, but I need your help to make it happen. I can't do it by myself. Carter can't do it by himself. Me and Carter together can't do it by ourselves. We need you to help us get to that point. So and like I said, being here, having your eyes on this, is I feel like is already asking too much, but I also feel like asking you to hit that like button, and if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe, tap that notification bell. I feel like that's not too much more to ask. So please help us out. It's free. It costs you nothing, and it helps everybody here out. So that's it. Let's get to our recommendations. Carter, do you also, by the way, thank you, I can't say that name because I think it's in Japanese and I can't read Japanese, but whoever that was, thank you. I will highlight it. Let's see. Boom. Said liked and subscribe. We appreciate that. That's the type of stuff I love to see. That's the type of stuff I love to see. Dwayne Scott said, Ernie doesn't need Gambit on his back. Hit that like button. Goddamn right I don't. I ain't got no look, because I ain't got no claws. So what is he gonna blow up? Because it ain't gonna be me. Okay. Yeah, not gonna be me. So yeah, let's get to it. Yes. We are going to get into our recommendeds for this week. Carter, do you have a recommendation for this week?
I do. And
what you got?
I want everybody to get away from Uber Eats and Postmates for a hot second and get your ass in the kitchen. That's what I want to do. I'm actually going to recommend you all a YouTube channel. It's a brother by the name of the channel name is Smoking and Grilling with AB. It's I believe his brother. Yeah. So basically, it's a cooking channel, of course.
Right. I'm pulling it up right now.
A lot of the food and shit like that he makes, and a lot of his recipes are really, really easy. So you don't really have to think that you have to overdo it in the kitchen. He literally has everything in the description that you.
I'm hungry right now. I got to take this off. I got to take this off screen. I'm hungry right now looking at this shit.
You know what I'm saying? So just like, man, because myself, I'm getting away from the Postmates and the Uber Eats. And
actually, I gotta put this back up. I gotta put this back up. I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait a minute. This man got a Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich. Oh yeah, this is getting watched.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Yeah.
So man, I don't know. Like, even though like I'm trying to get away from the fast food and stuff, and you still, if you're a healthy eater and things like that, he has that as well. But just make it. Make it something to do with your friends, with your family, with your significant others. Just get in the kitchen for a little bit. And it's really easy stuff. Like there is really easy stuff that is on there that you can go to your Kroger, your Ralph's, or whatever grocery store you have. Get those little ingredients. Only thing you got to worry about is just washing the dishes the next day. I would never tell you all to try to do everything together. Even though he does. When he cooking, he putting shit in. He already got the soap water ready. So when he's done with it, he just put it in there. I'm not at that Super Saiyan level yet, but
I kind of am. I'm close, but I'm not like I wash as I go, but not like I don't wash everything as I go. Like I wash the stuff that like is gonna be the biggest hassle to wash later. Is what I do. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, just get in the kitchen for a little bit. Make something for yourself. I guarantee you once you start, you're not gonna want to stop doing it. That's how I got the cooking bug back, because I used to do it and then COVID and all that shit happened. But now watching his channel and some other stuff I've seen, it's just like, let me literally, once this show is over with, there's a recipe of his I just saw. I'm literally going to go get Ernie's books from the comic shop and go get these ingredients because I'm gonna go cook
my guy.
So that's what I'm recommending for you guys today. Smoking and grilling with AB.
Ooh,
Ernie, what you recommended this week, big dog?
So I'm gonna recommend something that might catch some people a little off guard, maybe, because I don't talk about this stuff very often. But I'm gonna recommend, because so I actually showed this off last Thursday, this past Thursday. But I picked this up. This is the Demon Slayer complete box set. Has the entire series of manga in it. And I've actually been going back reading it. I'm actually on volume 7 right now of the let's see, how many volumes is this? 23 volumes. I'm on volume 7 right now of this. Been reading it and been thoroughly enjoying it. Yeah. Great story. If for whatever reason, if you are somehow unfamiliar with the anime or manga Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, it is really good. This is a story about a young man by the name of Tanjiro Kamado, and he is just he's your typical shonen anime manga protagonist. He's a good kid, kind of plucky, just down to earth, nice kid. And one day when he is going off to sell some charcoal to make that bread for his family, he comes back. Whole family is clapped. The mama, the little brothers and sisters, the baby, everybody gone. Except for one. And it's his sister, Nezuko, who survives the attack and becomes a demon. And the whole story is really just kind of about how Tanjiro is trying to find the demon who turned his sister into a demon and killed his family. Now, what I find kind of funny about it's it's kind of funny. I remember I used to always laugh because the main villain of the story, whose name is Kibutsuji. Yep. I always laugh because like he reminds me, like the way he is designed reminds me so much of Michael Jackson in Smooth Criminal. Like every time I see him, I always get this kind of little hee. Like I always just kind of hear that in the background, even though that's not how he talks. He doesn't do any Michael Jackson dance moves. He just has that Smooth Criminal fedora look going on. But but no, I really like the story. It's not something I thought I would like when I initially checked it out. I always heard people talking about Demon Slayer, but I was like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a huge fan of shonen manga or anime by and large. I'm more of a seinen anime and manga guy. But I like the story because Tanjiro is... He's a good guy who wants to see the best in people, and it kind of scratches that itch that I feel characters like Naruto try to do, but isn't so over the top about it. Like, what I love about it, too, is that, like, the characters are all living, breathing characters. Even the bad guys. I will say there are some characters that annoy me. There are some tropes in it that I don't like. Like, the character Zenitsu gets on my last goddamn nerves. He is always shouting and screaming every time he talks. Like, you know how, like, when anime characters are always like, oh my god! Like, he's that way almost the entire fucking time. He's so fucking annoying. He's also a pervert, which I also don't like. But I appreciate that every character looks at him like he's a goddamn fool whenever he says something perverted. So I appreciate that. And I like the fact that the demons are nuanced in this as well, where, like, you know, sometimes they do the thing that I kind of complained about Blue Beetle doing, where, like, oh, we're going to give, yeah, spoiler alert for Blue Beetle, but, oh, we're going to give the villain some backstory right as he's about to get broke off. We're going to wait till the villain's about to die and we give him some backstory. But no, they do that with Demon Slayer a lot, but they do it in a way that I actually feel is better because it's not like a, oh, hey, we waited till the end, like right we're about to kill off the character and say that, what's the word? We're gonna sprinkle like a couple of seconds of backstory in now the character's about to die. They don't really do that. They do it more where like, oh, well, the character's about to die. Well, we're going to tell you more about the character, and they usually give you like a full like issue or two of that character. You're just learning why this character is the way they are, or as the character is actually dying, sometimes they will tell you that. But yeah, I like it. And well, once again, it's not for everybody. You know, but I love it. I've actually thoroughly enjoyed it. It's one of those rare shonen anime that while it does repeat some familiar tropes, kind of similar you know, to your Naruto's and your you know, whatevers, it does them all in ways I think are infinitely better than any of its predecessors. Like, I like Demon Slayer about as much as I like Jujutsu Kaisen, but for completely different reasons. Like, I like Jujutsu Kaisen because it has cool characters and has some really awesome fights. Demon Slayer has interesting fights, but I feel like the story of Demon Slayer is better than Jujutsu Kaisen. That's just me. Like, when you get down to like actually breaking down the story of something, like the thing that like I'm supposed to be there for. Like, I watched JJK for the fights and the characters having funny interactions. I watched Demon Slayer for the story. Yeah, that's just how that works for me. That said, yeah, I highly recommend it. It's great. Whether you watch the manga or whether you read the manga or watch the anime, either one. I would say the anime is prettier to look at. The manga is just good. There you go. So there you go. Let's see. Let's get into questions from the Discord.
All right. I got them pulled up.
You got them? Okay, my man. I haven't pulled up too, but I'm gonna let you take the. Oop. I didn't mean to.
You right, man.
Hold up. Come back.
No, what happened? You jinxed
No,
it.
I accidentally. So you know how like when you can hover over a tab and it can pull up certain things, they could hear me, you couldn't hear me. Only Discord was muted, but yeah, I accidentally clicked the mute button when I jumped into Discord.
All right. Urban Prince Strong Style XL, you're a pervert. Good morning, Ernie and Carter. I have a question. Will we see Gwenpool in a post-credit scene in Deadpool and Wolverine? I know this probably won't happen, but half of me just wanted it to happen. That is all. And remember to know your role and get them likes up. So the question is, will we see Gwenpool in a post-credit scene in Deadpool 3? My answer is very simple. How the hell would I know? I haven't seen it. I'm not in the writing room. I don't work for Marvel like he do.
Anyway, no. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I kind of jokingly said it in passing, I think. on Nerds of Culture, but yeah, I mean, sure, maybe, possibly. I could see it, but I don't know if maybe a wink and a nod. Maybe a wink and a nod.
Okay.
Let's go to our next one here. We've got Qdoma says, greetings. Blerd and Carter, hope you're feeling awesome. I checked out some toys for the X-Men 97 animated show. Looks to me that they're going in the direction of bringing the Executioner story into play here. Would I be correct in saying this, or is there more? No, Executioner's in this. I don't know what role they will play, but considering that the Executioner normally is kind of, you know, one of those anti-mutant characters who also just kind of happens to be problematic for a lot of other reasons. Yeah, considering some of the stuff I've seen with you know, they're definitely leaning into the anti-mutant sentiment. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, they're going that direction.
Ooh, yeah, I like this next question here from Trap God Thanos. Good evening, Blerd and Carter, even though it is only 12:50. So Marvel announced the series that will tie into the Blood Hunt event, and the Miles book is one of them. That makes 9 of the 22 issues of this current run event tie-in issues. Why do you think they keep having him in these why do you think they keep having him tie into events? Is it because the character is becoming more popular in other media, or what? Also, shout out to all the people hyping up the recent Marvel news when not a week ago they were saying that Marvel was dead. Y'all lazy asses better get those motherfucking likes up, or else you gonna find out the mistress Usher was talking about in Confession 2 was your wife, bro.
Ooh, bruh.
So here's so real quick,
go ahead.
It's not because the character is becoming more popular in other media. That's just how Marvel does their events, and unfortunately, this is not the first book that you are saying is a good book where the majority of that shit is always in tie-in issues and they can't even tell their own story because of how Marvel have structured all their events, to where now they're having to stop the story they're telling, or they're having to tell the story that they're telling in limited issues because the majority of their issues are having to tie into shit they don't even want to tie into. A really good example is a book that Ernie and I like, Al Ewing's Captain America and the Mighty Avengers. A lot of that book was tie-in issues. One of the only good books I will ever claim that Cullen Bunn ever wrote. Magneto's solo series was chock full of having to tie into other shit. Like the last couple of issues of Magneto had to tie into the shit going into Secret Wars, even though nothing Secret Wars had anything to do with what was happening in the Magneto series. So it's not because they're popular, it's because Marvel don't know to stop. That's when, and funny enough, the Marvel Now, when the all new, all different, was really the time when people were saying you all need to sit the fuck down with all these events because we can't enjoy our books, our Miles Morales, our Captain America and Mighty Avengers, our Magneto, because they're constantly having to tie into your event up until we get to the last issue and no real story was told because it was tying into other shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think two things can be true at the same time. Yes, it is because Miles is popular and that would bring more eyes to it. But it's also because Blade has been in Miles's book lately. So that is, he was in at least 2 or 3 issues, both him and Bloodline. They have both been in Miles's book as of recent. So that is also why he is tying into it as well, because the whole vampire thing kind of got snuck over into, and this was even before Blood Hunt was announced. So yeah, there. Which, I mean, I don't think that matters because I mean, all this shit's usually planned out in advance anyway. Real quick, because I don't want to lose this, because I'll bring this up after we're done with Discord, so that way we don't muddy the water too much. But yes, that said, Blood Hunt, while I was initially excited for it, I'm kind of scared of what it's going to become. But I'm still willing to check it out. Because hey, it's Blade.
Yep.
JWR 2.0 says, greetings, Ernie and Carter. Big week for Marvel news. Here's my question. Where do you stand on synergy synergization of between the MCU and the comics. Do you feel it's becoming as excessive and problematic as some people say, or do you feel differently about it? I don't see a whole heap of a lot of synergy. I mean, I see it, but not like, I don't see enough that would make it bad. Synergy in terms of, here's the thing about synergy. Here's the thing about brand synergy. Case in point, in the comics recently, they made Monica Rambeau, for all intents and purposes, a mutant. And this kind of is in line with what they've done recently with Monica Rambeau in the Marvels. Not saying she's a mutant there, but they've got her hanging out with the X-Men now, in the MCU. Not to say that there's correlation between it, but I mean, the way Marvel does brand synergy, it's never like one-to-one. It's always like, oh, hey, well, this is kind of becoming a thing, so hey, you're going to see a little more of this. Kind of like how when Shang-Chi came out, you started seeing more Shang-Chi comics. You started seeing Shang-Chi hanging out in more issues of other people's stuff. You know, with the whole, well, what's the best way to put it? Like, yeah, with more... with a change up of what's going on in MCU with the X-Men, yeah, we're getting a reset on the X-Men in the comics. That's about the most of brand synergy they really do. It's never like anything that's like one-to-one, but I still like it. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it just is what it is.
All right, last question from the Discord, and it is all to you, my brother. If you were, as a Toku fan, looking for new discussions about tokusatsu, what seasons of Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Ultraman, or any series like the newest Garo series going on YouTube, would you want to discuss and why?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, here's the thing about tokusatsu for me. I like talking about all of it, but I will definitely say my blind spot is going to be Ultraman. Mm-hmm. Ultraman's more of a blind spot for me, and more recent Garo is a bit of a blind spot for me because I haven't caught up with a lot of the more recent stuff. Not for lack of want, but just lack of time. But yeah, Kamen Rider, Super Sentai. I mean, I like all that stuff. I mean, that's these are always things that I would want to talk about. I think the issue is that while I enjoy talking about them, I don't know if people enjoy listening to me talk about them. So I only ever bring them up in passing. I feel like the YouTube algorithm is really iffy on what it thinks people want to see from me. But yeah, Kamen Rider is always going to be my jam because that's just kind of my thing. I like if you use the old Pulp Fictionism, the whole Elvis fans and Beatles fans, I feel like that kind of applies to Kamen Rider and Super Sentai for me. Like, you know, you can like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai at the same time, but you're always probably going to like one more than the other. That's how I am. I like Kamen Rider just a little bit more than I like Super Sentai. Just because I feel like the stories are a little bit more adult leaning.
Okay.
That's just me. I tell you what, so that was not really so much a question, more of a that was a question. I tell you what, I will answer this one just because this is kind of relevant to some things going on right now. But I cower over nothing. I'm gonna answer this one just because it's something I can answer quickly because it's more of a response than it is an answer. But it says, did y'all hear that Dakota Johnson fired her agent immediately after the Madam Web premiere? Yeah, I heard about that. That's funny. Yeah, okay, now moving on. Let's get into questions from the chat. And first one I want to ask because I hate that I missed this one. My homie Antoine Goes Mitchell, aka Pro Archery Media, hit us with a $5 super chat earlier that I somehow missed like way earlier in the show. But says when folks, no, I didn't. I never addressed it. So I did not see it. It got lost in the sauce for me. So I'm going back and answering it now. It says when folks complain about X-Men being too woke in comics or cartoons, shows me they know nothing about the X-Men and just want to complain. X-Men 97 looks fire. So I want to make sure I address that before we lost it. But yeah, anyway. What do we got? Man, we have a lot. Oh, shit, I think we have all the questions we need. Let's go. We got one here from Jerome.
Saying, what's this? The Brood have the numbers over the Phalanx, but have the Phalanx proven to be harder to eliminate, thus making them a bigger threat to the universe.
Well, yes, because, well, here's the thing. The thing about the Brood is that they have the numbers. They could overwhelm the Earth if they really wanted to. But the Phalanx is always, I always think of the Brood and the Phalanx as interchangeable, like, world-ending threats. Because they both kind of pose the same threat, and that's assimilation. The Brood by basically infecting other people and turning, which the Brood is weird because not only do they often infect people, but they can also like implant like you brood in a person, and while you have a brood, you become a. It's really weird how the Brood work. The Phalanx assimilate you kind of in the same way that the Borg assimilate people. So yeah, I feel like they're both existential threats, like on a massive level. But I feel like the Phalanx get downplayed a little bit because they can be tricky to write. That's my take on it. Which, yeah, we're seeing that, the Phalanx is an issue right now. They just aren't called the Phalanx right now very often. It's mostly like the Phalanx are there, but there's something else that's just as bad that's right around the corner. That's why you don't hear the Phalanx's name as often. Bill says, question, have you heard about Sony overhauling Silk, Spider Society's writing team, and the pre-strike episodes for a male skewing audience? By the way, Cassie's tech-like visor looks a lot like Jackpot's.
I saw this on Twitter, but I didn't think it was true.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how I feel about that because honestly, while, yeah, you do want to get those male eyes on it, I feel like it's a grave mistake to try and take it a different direction. Like I don't think it's a wise decision to try and lean it like all the way towards a male audience. You know what I mean? I think you should try and ride the line.
You know how I feel like nobody would actually say something like that. It doesn't sound real. Like, because I could see just in the times we're in right now, to say we need more men watching this shit, I feel like women would go berserk. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't sound like legit that some goof actually said that shit out loud.
It sounds like something that would have been said in 1996. And I say that because And I say that because I just recently recorded a video talking about the Ninja Turtles. Again, and this one is more skewed towards Venus de Milo and something that I learned about the character Venus de Milo and why she completely disappeared from the public eye after Ninja Turtles the Next Mutation went off the air. But yeah, that sounds like a very old Hollywood thing. So there you go. Dedrick Morton says, do you think that the new Moon Knight is Cloak? They had the same power set, but don't remember Cloak being able to fight. But last time I read a Cloak and Dagger book was 1985. Okay, I'm gonna tell you it's not Cloak because Cloak is actually out and running around. And look, here's the thing, and I know people. This is Hydra Cap all over again. This is Hydra Cap all over again. I'm telling y'all now. It's fucking Zodiac. It's fucking Zodiac. It's Zodiac.
It's the first time we've seen Cloak's legs ever in the history of Marvel, because I ain't never seen his arms and legs. I've seen head and they got them Cloak. Head and shoulders. Like, that's all we ever see. No,
Cloak is out doing stuff. He's around. He's around. Like, he's not pretending to be Moon Knight. No. It's no, that is not what's happening here. In my first video for Vengeance of Moon Knight #1, I said who I thought it was. And after reading Vengeance of Moon Knight #2, and this is why I was even debating whether I wanted to do a video about it. I actually wrote out some notes for that issue to do a video on, but I was like, man, I feel like I would just be repeating myself. I was like, this is fucking Zodiac. 100%. Full stop. The Zodiac.
What if it ended up being a Mandarin or something?
It ain't the Mandarin. It ain't the Mandarin. It ain't the Mandarin. Look, like I said, if you read Jed MacKay's Moon Knight.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, with you being so dead set and then the clues obviously being there that it is, I wouldn't put it past them to like just do a swerve real quick. Depowered Mandarin, or it's actually what's the boy's name? Darius Ager.
Oh Lord, stop. Here, let me see if I can get this. I wonder if this thing still works. Did we determine whether or not this command does not still work?
That command doesn't work.
It doesn't work anymore. Okay,
I can post that while you get
Carter's going to get you the Discord link in there. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next one we got. This is from JD. Thoughts on the fantastic forecasting? I already kind of gave my thoughts on Nerds of Culture. So I'll defer over to Carter on this one. The only thing I will say real quick is if you did not watch Nerds of Culture, I'll just say I think the casting was spot on. That's all I'll say. Carter, I'll let you take the floor on this one.
Oh, this is real quick. Because I asked somebody else this question. They were like, bruh, is Pedro Pascal just trying to be everybody now? He is Mando. He's Joel. Like, bruh, let somebody else get that opportunity.
Look, Carter. So here's the funny thing, Carter. You said the same thing my wife said when she found out that Pedro Pascal casting, because her and I talked about it when it was rumored, and she's like, I really hope it's not Pedro Pascal. And she was like, not because like I don't like him. She's like, I like him. I think he'll be great. But like she feels the same way about him that she also feels about Jenna Ortega. She's like, that motherfucker is just everywhere. And she's like, I'm kind of sick of seeing, because like every time we see a new movie trailer and it's got Jenna Ortega in it, she's like, damn, let somebody else get some goddamn roles. Damn. Like, yeah. and I kind of agree with that. Like, yeah, it is kind of like, that was my thought. I wish they would have given it to a lesser known actor than Pedro Pascal, but not because I think he's going to be bad. I just would have rather it been somebody else. But yeah, I think everything else is great. Everyone else is fantastic. I know some people complain about Joseph Quinn. I have no complaints. I know you seem to be okay with it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I needed you to clarify who the fuck that was. Was that the boy from Stranger Things that died because he was doing the guitar rip?
Yeah. That was it. Yeah, that was your boy right here. That was your boy.
I don't read enough Fantastic Four or care enough to be mad about something. Just let me see a solid Fantastic Four movie, and I'm 100%.
That's what 4 right there. And then we got last one. It's gonna be Marcus Hill's question. Okay, let me see what this is. It says because first off, I have to look this up and see what the fuck is even being talked about here. So I will feel bad. Let's see here. So okay, I see what they're talking about. I guess this is the monster that is going to be in Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. I haven't seen any of this stuff yet, but apparently some toys have leaked. And there, because I don't know if you saw this, Carter. There was a character that had that was teased in the trailer, but was never actually shown. And the character's name is Shimo.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna pull this up so you can see. This is the character right here. This is not fake because I've seen the toy leaks as well. The toy leaks were pretty much the same. This is one of the toys, in case anyone's curious. I don't know. I don't think it's an A. I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. Here's what I think it is. And it's actually almost in line. Having not seen this prior. Carter, have you ever seen... I'm curious if you've ever seen this. Maybe you have. I don't know. Have you ever seen Space Godzilla?
No.
Okay.
If it's anything kaiju, probably not. I could have helped you with that one.
Okay. No. 100%. Yeah. So, Space Godzilla, this was a thing. This was an actual thing. There's a movie called Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. I feel like this is their way of kind of trying to do that without doing that, having the crystals all up on their back. I feel like this is their way of kind of doing that without doing it, but I could be wrong. I am open to being wrong. We'll have to we'll have to play it by ear in order to see. But we've got a $5 super chat here from Tubes One. Says Human Torch actor was also in Outer Banks on Netflix. His character had the perfect hot head, hot mess energy of Johnny Storm. I think he's perfect. That's what I said. Okay, so when I saw that Joseph Quinn was listed as Johnny Storm, I was not one of those people who was like, oh, it's gonna be bad now because of this. I was not one of those people. I was not one of those people. No, not at all.
I've only seen him in Stranger Things, so I have no reason to feel like that. I've only seen this brother in one fucking thing.
Same. I had seen him in other stuff, but if I just went based strictly on Stranger Things casting and nothing else, I literally looked at his casting and said, yeah, this is good. Yeah. I was like, this is good. Yes. YTube Noob says, yeah, Godzilla died in that movie and Kid Godzilla took his place. Yes, that is
Kid Godzilla.
Yeah. Okay, so it was okay. So to make it more of a point, it was a smaller Godzilla because he had a kid around. He had a kid that was kind of like around. That kid absorbed all that atomic energy and grew up immediately into being the new Godzilla. So there you go.
He got the mushroom.
He did, basically. I will say though, the Godzilla from around like Godzilla 2000 on up, that was some wild ass Godzilla around that time. Godzilla was putting work on folks. It was out here. But who knows? That is all I got. I am getting, like, after you talking about fucking smoking and grilling and shit, I'm fucking starving right now. I'm gonna have to go run out this house and get myself something to eat because I am literally, my stomach is literally gnawing on my backbone right now.
Won't you trying to get something fast? Or you actually trying to cook? What happened to the grill master, motherfucker? Yeah,
it's cold. It's cold outside. No, if I cook, I'm gonna have to, like, if I do any of this, I'm gonna have to find something I can do in the house. Like in the house.
I'm gonna send you the link to what I'm finna make from his channel today. It's this Cajun pasta. This shit looks
Cajun pasta, man. Well, okay, here's the other issue. So Cynthia is sick right now.
Yeah.
So whatever I cook, it ain't gonna be anything she can eat. So it'll probably be something quick. I might just go run out and get her something because she's not without giving too much away. Without giving too much away, because I don't want to put her business out there. Let's just say she ain't leaving the house. She's staying in the bathroom. That's all I'm gonna say. But no. So we are whatever it is that we do is gonna have to be something that everybody can eat. Is the long and short of it. No, we are not expecting.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Okay, first off, if it turned out that she was sick because she was pregnant, we suing. Because that should not be happening. I am taking somebody's birth control company to court.
We ain't gonna choke slam that doctor immediately.
You gonna hear that old remember that what was it, Kane music when they had to wheel him out on the gurney and they had him in the Hannibal Lecter mask. Look, they be like, look, wow, That's what the doctor go hear when I kick that door down and hear the burst of flame. I'm going, here comes Kane. That's what y'all go hear. That's what y'all gonna hear when y'all gonna see on this breaking news. Middle-sized YouTuber breaks into doctor's office and choke slams birth control doctor out of a plate glass window. News at 11. That's what y'all gonna hear. Yeah, that finger 11. You know what I'm talking about. The wonder of the world is gone. That's what he gonna hear as he go through the plate glass window. Okay, that's what he gonna hear. when I put him through the barbershop window. That's what you're going to hear. Anyway, Carter, do you have anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No.
Okay, well, I guess that just leaves me. So I only have to say stay tuned, because shortly after we go off the air, I'm going to release another Black History video. Apparently those have been doing well on Saturdays, I guess. I don't know why, but we're going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to be doing a video. I'm going to release a video that's going to be about the first ever Black female superhero in the history of comics, period. End of story. There is none other. We're going to drop a video about her. There will also be a Black Panther video that might come out a little later in the day. And I also have a Wolverine video that will be coming out it probably won't come out today. I'll probably release it tomorrow. So make sure you keep it locked. And yeah, stay tuned, because it's about to go down. That said, for Carter Presents, I am the Blerd without fear. And Madam Web, you can go to hell.
Bye.